It is a civilizational crisis. I've said this before. We are at a place, and you can see it from a mile away, we are at a place where great civilizations start to go and new civilizational models begin to gain steam, and there's a place where those two cross paths, and they simply cannot coexist. We are there right now.
So shout out to Paleocrat.
Oh yeah, follow Paleocrat. He's all over this.
The woman explained how her boyfriend told her that his high-fiber diet means that wiping is completely unnecessary. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing stars. They're worse than the people on the corner talking about the rapture's about to happen. It's an apocalyptic death cult. It's so demonic. I'm starting to think there's some kind of a conspiracy going on around here. Yeah, we are the wolf pack, by the way, guys. I forgot to say that. Ow! It's good to see you. It's good to see you. You guys always get me riled up, wild and zany. It's so eminent. Everything is eminent right now. 12 years, 8 years, we're all doomed. But the great animal uprising of 2020 is happening all around. They're even starting to talk, dude. I've seen movies. They're just at this point pulling diamonds out of their rear end, which would be a fascinating ability, by the way. I heard it's all about the pressure. It's gonna happen, guys. We're gonna push, and we're gonna push hard, because that is what is always done. That is what America does, which is why you can see all that destruction. And what happens, by the way? Cities get burned, windows get smashed, people get pulled out of their cars, individuals have been shot, individuals have been beat bloody on the streets, and then what ends up happening? White supremacy is the big problem in America. What? No! No, no, no! It's over, man. It is over, son. I think they're lying to us. And you know how we know this? Because they buy into everything. They spread fake news like crazy. Is this real, guys? 50-50. There are people out there that have physiques like that. You see them oftentimes in parking garages like valet drivers and stuff. If you want to be an ignoramus and try to do the fisticuffs, hit the road, Jack and Jacqueline and Karen. Oh, you're not based, dude. You're based in Pato land, as in like located. Let's look him up on Google real quick. Oh, he's on 666 Pato Street. We're just gonna have fun. There's no serious stuff going on here. Oh, they're mukbang spiders. Why? Oh, holy crap. No. No, no, no. Do not flaunt that. That is not something to be proud of. There's been a big price tag for the sins that we've committed as a nation. And we've committed some of the most grotesque sins in the history of the world. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's this dude. He's kind of a beta cock, Play-Doh rolling, bubble blowing kind of guy. Says, what an ignorant way of looking at the world. You're gonna be tossed to and fro by every whim and fancy of a culture that hates you. This dude thinks it's offensive to women that I don't walk around with my shirt off. It's easy to say how great we are, and I believe that we're truly great. On the other hand, we got Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. They have no connection with the past, other than to simply remind the past always how much they hate it, and to dance on the graves of the democracy of dead. The rabbits are now dressing up as Nicolas Cage. Plastic surgery, I bet, probably from that stinking cat. And you're like, you don't do plastic surgery. And he says, look at the plastic surgery I did for the rabbit. We need to repent. We need to take a knee for Jesus. Paleocrat's using that argument again. Come on, son. That's good, wholesome American stuff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I should overcome, what for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands, and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no challenge for champions and chain no fear. Yeah, the champions, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. What an amazing day it is to be alive. Here we are once again. It is Tuesday, November 24th. Oh my gosh. We are coming up really, really close, aren't we, guys? We are coming up very, very, very close to Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, man. It is going to be an amazing day. We have a whole bunch of really awesome stories for you. Of course, we've got our funny stories. We've got a baby elephant caught eating sugarcane, tries to hide behind a pole. Okay, good luck with that. We've got driver slamming brand new car into showroom wall because Thanksgiving. Maybe it's because Thanksgiving and everyone's thinking about food. I wanted to talk about one story, but the thing is I talked about it on Paleo Cheese. You know, we've been doing this thing instead of going through the ordinary format. Me and my buddy Chad, we host a weekly program called Paleo Cheese. We used to talk just about strictly about movies and books and what we're watching, and we kind of changed that, you know, and so now we just have a good time. It's all we do. We have a good time. And I brought up a story that is hilarious, and it's about whether or not certain sides go with Thanksgiving dinner. And I can tell you right now, I didn't agree with the author. I didn't agree at all. I was like, I don't know what this lady's thinking, man. So the first hour, we've got a bunch of great stuff. Apparently, even a man broke the 1 mile basketball dribbling world record. We're going to find out if that's true. We're going to find out if it's true. But in the second hour, and we've been pushing it, man. We've been pushing like 3 hours, okay? We've been pushing 3 hours here, pretty much. And so in the second hour, or I don't know, second 2 hours of the show, we've got a lot more things to talk about, including Trump supporters disrupting CNN. That thing went viral. It was hilarious. Buddy shared with me over at Raw Story, and there's a special secret involved in that video, okay? And you're going to find out. And it's special. It's special, especially to the wolf pack right here at Paleocrat Diaries. So we got that. We have this weird documentary. It's called what? Trans Hood. We're going to talk about that. It's a LGBT cult is what it is. Extremely bizarre. We've got updates about the election. We didn't talk about the election at all yesterday. Didn't talk about it at all. And in fact, I hope you guys are grateful for that. Because we've been talking election news since a couple weeks before the election. Leading up to it, we talked about the color revolution. We talked about the big steal. We talked about the probability, the great probability, practical inevitability of election fraud. So we had that. But I decided yesterday, I said, I don't think I really want to talk about election news. We do it all the time. And so I just want to just enjoy myself. I just want to let you guys just a deep breath of fresh air, just to back away from it for a second. Because you got to take it in stride. You have to take it in stride. It's easy in this day and age to just believe, you know what, it's over, guys. The AP said so. YouTube reminds us all the time. If you go to any of my videos, right beneath practically every single one, although I don't know yesterday. I don't know if it was there yesterday, but it's probably something about COVID. If it's not something about the election, then it's something about COVID that they put underneath my video, just to remind everybody that they are the gatekeepers of all truth around the world. They're coming for you. They're coming for your religion, by the way. That's the next part of this. We're going to talk also more than just election news. More than just election news. We're going to talk about big tech and kind of things that we can do, in fact. Things that we can do, that we don't have to just simply accept the idea that big tech is the master of the universe and that, well, it's just an inevitable thing. It's just the way it's going to go. And we better just pack our bags and bury our religion in the ground. It's over, because it's not. And there's a lot of things that we can do, even from our otherwise helpless position. We're not on the board of any of these big tech groups, although I'm positive that some of their folks are watching. And we're also going to talk, of course, about the Great Reset. That's going to be a good one. We're going to talk about that. John Kerry, how COVID plays into it, as well as the new normal by any means necessary and what you can do to stop it. So we have a bunch of amazing things. So I hope that you've got your coffee ready. I know I've got mine. And I don't know if you noticed this. I got in the background, I replaced, I have books back there, and people can't read the books and stuff, But I decided, I'm like, you know what, man, I'm going to put that painting of my daughter behind me. Just as a good reminder, man. I love her. I'm really grateful for the years that I got to spend with her before she died. And she's just an amazing person. And I went through yesterday, and I do this every once in a while, man. I'll go through the playlists, and I reorganize them. So if you want to go check out the playlist over at youtube.com/Paleocrat, I organized the videos in those playlists so that it has the most popular ones first. And it's been really exciting. It was a little depressing, because when I went in there, I was seeing these videos that had, really small views. I'm talking from about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago max, which is when we started the show. There were videos with like 40 views. 40 views, and I'm like, no. Even on Holy Faith Media, it was like 150 views on my early posts. And now it's bumping about 1,000 by the time we click done for the day. So you can look and say, look at the strides that we have made, folks. And it's because of you. It's because of each and every one of you who tune in every day and laugh along and cry along and get crazy and hair on fire right alongside me. And I'm really grateful for each and every one of you. Because really, I mean, to be really honest, we're not boosting the show. We're not making ads, sharing them on other people's stuff. Maybe we should, but it's kind of a one-man band here. I mean, I've got my staff, and Angela does help, Ailey, right? She helps. She's in the comment section, by the way. But the thing is by and large, unless you know my website or unless you go to Holy Faith Media or any of the other platforms, Paleocrat, unless you go to those, we're not out there. I'm not going on social media very often. I have kind of a difficult time with that. I don't really care for it, actually. I think it makes people worse. I think it makes for bad people. And so every bit of advancement that we have made, and we can't even attribute it to guests because we haven't had them yet. I reached out to a couple, though, said plan on next week. And so that's the goal. That's the goal. Don't know if it's going to work out and don't know about their time and their schedule. But that way they'll be able to come on after Thanksgiving. Everything's going to be great. But the point is, every bit of advancement is from you guys. Every bit of it. Every single bit of it. And so we're just really grateful here for all of you. We love the Wolfpack. We love the Wolfpack. But I was going through and I'm seeing these videos of my daughter. I'm going through that playlist too. And if you want to see those, beware. You're going to need some boxes of tissues, and by some, 2 or 3, because they're powerful stories. And she's a powerful girl. And I was going through it and just loving every bit of it. I mean, it's hard to watch, to remember that she's not here right now. But at the same time, it's one of those things that she's an encouragement no matter what. And she's inspired me to be what I am today and what I'm doing. And so I decided, I said, I had this way back there by the light up high, by my lava lamp. And I said, can't do it. Can't do it. I'm going to need to have the picture of her right there. So anytime I look over here at the camera, anytime I do that and I'm looking at the screen, I can see her smiling down at me. So, all right, guys, let's get to this. Let us get to this. By the way, yeah, we got to do this first. We have to do this every single time because we have to let people know. We had a confusion yesterday. There was a new person, and she was wondering. She's saying, "Man, how is it that I'm only hearing one side of a conversation?" And I thought, man, because I'm reading comments on the screen. I don't have them set up or anything. I'm not showing a YouTube screen. I've got it on OBS, and so I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. And so as you can see here, a whole bunch of people. Oh, yeah. Hola to you. Happy Tuesday. Good morning. Tuesday morning. Very happy to see you, Bethany. Very, very, very happy to see you. And let's see here. And by the way, I'm showing this because, as you can see, there are little icons here to the little symbols to the left. You can see the Facebook ones, and you can see some YouTube ones. You may not see Periscope or Twitch or DLive, but we're airing there. So if you are watching at Holy Faith Media or at Paleocrat on any of those platforms, you can comment and I can see them. And occasionally, I'm going to drum it up. I'm going to pop it up because I got people like Dazzle Pancake, which is probably one of the coolest names I've read in a long time. Dazzle Pancake, hello. Hello to you, Dazzle Pancake. Man, I love that name. Oh, I love it. It's awesome. It's like, I can just imagine it. Can you guys? Can you imagine right now a dazzly pancake? I can. Camo says, what are you talking about? Thanksgiving was last month. No, it was not. No, it was not, man. I'm going to be talking about something you shared with me. I meant to share the video yesterday, and I think I'm going to share it today. Got it. Of course, Ailey, it's Angela Bannister. That is she's my secretary. She's my mega hot half Korean wife, secretary. And she's monitoring the staff upstairs. Okay, we've got Lucian. He's on the ball today. He's always making sure to give it his absolute best, pumping up the crowd, dancing during the Wolfpack song. So he does that every single day. He's almost 2 years old. And then we've got little Wolfgang. And he's doing good. He's cooing and he's crying and breastfeeding, which, we need that. We need that, guys. And so if you want to keep up with what the staff is doing here at the Paleocrat headquarters, the Castle Paleocrat, then make sure to comment and leave that for her. She's always very, very awesome to speak with. Let's see. Shirley says, they can come get my guns one bullet at a time. Yeah, morning, by the way, to the Wolfpack. Yeah, get those bullets one at a time, Shirley. One at a time, baby. Oh, Annette. I don't know if you guys know this. There's a secret. And the secret is, if you ever see Annette Conrad in there, that's my mom. That is my mama. That's mommy. And I love her. And I'm always really grateful. We talked actually for a long time recently. I won't say what it's about, because it was a personal conversation. Not every personal conversation is going to make its way onto here. And I think it's one that she just, is opening up her heart about a couple things, And it was just, I love the fact that my mom and I have a really great relationship, and that we're able to just talk, and sometimes for a very long time. Both of us get rolling, and that's just the way it goes. Boya Kasha, good afternoon from England. Great content, dude. Boya. Very, very happy to see you. Booyah. Booyah Kasha. Yes, thank you very much. And from England. Super glad to see you. Yes. Adam says, my videos were getting 20K plus until Big Tech shut me down. Yeah, dude, thanks a lot for rubbing it in my face, you jerk. But then you threw yourself under the bus, right? Well, no, you're just mentioning that Big Tech did that. And I'm really sorry to hear that, dude. Your videos are awesome. Your videos are really great, man. If you're not following Adam, you've got to follow him. Where in the comments, by the way, Adam, where would you say people should follow you? On Facebook, YouTube, both? But where do you do most of your stuff? I mainly see your stuff on Facebook. Sheree Parker, good morning. I was wondering about you, Sheree. Did I even see you yesterday? I don't know about that, man. I don't know. And yeah, Brian, good morning to you. Currently getting the coffee brewed and ready to go. You have to, man. You have to. Sheree says, I'm hoping you do a show on Thanksgiving because then I get to watch 2 days this week. Yeah, highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. And I'm sorry, by the way, about the internet. Hopefully it starts to smooth out. If the staff is upstairs and they're watching it, on any devices, they can turn that off. I don't know if there's devices that may be gobbling up some of that bandwidth. Not entirely sure. But I know that sometimes it goes down, has a little bit of a lag. But we're going to push through. Most of the time, it clears itself up. We'll find out if that's the case. All right, Tina Parsons, God bless you and your family. So nice to hear a man cherish his family. Keep on having babies. You better believe it. You better believe it, Tina. Oh, this Papa Bear, he ain't stopping. Mama Bear ain't stopping, that's for sure. So we're pumped up about the babies. We are pumped up about making babies. Look, you got to do it. You got to do it. We're living in a world. Not only is that part of God's design, but we're living in a world that's totally wicked. And when we live in wicked times, you can tell it's kind of interesting. It gives us a reassurance of why we do what we do. And in fact, I think people should check out the movie The Quiet Place. I think they should check that movie out and see what families do sometimes. And that's a powerful movie. I know it doesn't have like a Christocentric theme to it, but it's a powerful family theme where they come together in terrible times, overwhelming odds against them, and they're cranking out a baby, and they're doing what it takes to make that happen. And you know what? And we can see that we are much different than the world. The world has this serious problem. And that serious problem is that we're living in a time where the world is saying, don't make babies. And they've got a bazillion reasons why. They contracept them out of existence. They abort them out of existence. They LGBT the daylights out of these babies, out of existence, okay? They do that. More than that, they reassure themselves of the reasons to do this. And they do it using things like white privilege, white supremacy. We need to stop this. And the way to do it is to stop having babies. Or global climate change. We need to stop having babies. Or the Great Reset. We got to stop having babies. All of these things. It's dehumanizing. It's trying to make a post-human world. But we are the reminder that they ain't going to get away with it. And that God will ultimately be victorious all the time. That's the trajectory of history. And we believe that on the show. Sheree says, some customer actually told me, I don't think you need to have any more babies. To which I said, that's not how I feel about it. Yeah. Not only that, I would be like, well, let's be really grateful that you're not sharing the marriage bet with my husband. You're not part of that decision-making process, Toots, so get out of here. Get out of here, man. Yes, Dazzle says, babies, the best experience. Oh, man. And lastly, Tina says, I wish I had 12 babies. We all wish you had 12 babies, Tina. In seriousness, we wish you had a bunch of babies. My mom was one of 11. We've had 6 thus far. And Tina also finishes by saying, yep, all demonic lies. Can't listen to the lies, which, of course, Tina, is why you're listening to the show. Speaking of the show, make sure, before we move on, make sure to go to Paleocratdiaries.com. It's a zoomed-in shot so you can see this. You can connect with me, book now for interviews. Donations, of course, are welcome, as well as public speaking. I've got my the what's required. Okay, I've got what's required there. So trip, lodge plus offer. So you can go and you can check all that stuff out. You can subscribe to the channel as well as become a member. It's super easy to do. You can even connect with us. We have a connect page there. It's got our contact information. But every bit helps, and we do this. Every bit helps the show. Every bit, 100%, goes towards the education that my children have at Sacred Heart Academy in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And so really grateful for all of that. And it kind of gives you an idea also. I mean, I'm putting myself out there, vulnerably maybe, to say, look, it kind of gives you an idea for how much we're actually making from the show. We're not making a butt ton of money, right? We're relying strictly on you. And it's crazy because we started this after COVID. We're starting this during lockdown and saying, we know that there are a lot of people struggling to make ends meet. I know people joke and say it's no more than the cup of coffee that you get at Starbucks. But the truth is there's a lot of people right now, especially the Johnny Q and Sally Sue's, the people we make this show for, that right now they're not going out to Starbucks. Their wife or husband would strangle them if they went out to Starbucks. They'd be like, what are you doing? We don't have the money for that. And so it's okay. It's okay. People are struggling to even find the money to tithe to church. It's okay. Okay? But we're here. And when you decide that you would like to be a bona fide member of the Paleo Naughty, you got to make sure, go to paleocratdiaries.com/members, and you can be counted in to the group. It's awesome. It's a whole bunch of fun. All right. I'm gonna announce that a little. Well, I was gonna announce that a little bit later. I'm going to announce it right now because I have to. I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I'll be back on Friday, but I'm not going to be around tomorrow. So I have to say this. There is a Stop the Steal rally, Michigan Capitol, Saturday, November 28th, 12 to 3. If you are around the area, okay, and I know some people who wanted to go and were bummed out that they weren't there the last time when I spoke. And just a little hint, you got to be there on Saturday because I heard they've got a really, really great lineup. You're going to find out about that. Yeah, so you've got to go ahead. You've got to share that. You've got to share it. You have to let people know. And if you're anywhere within the area, and I mean by anywhere within the area, I mean, I don't know, 6 to 8 to 12 hours, 12 hours drive or walking distance, make sure that you make it there. Lansing State Capitol, November 28th, 12 to 3. It's going to be a bunch of fun. All right, guys. All right. This is crazy. And I knew about this one. I knew at least the title. Man. I got to see it, and I'm like, okay, all right, what's this thing? Baby elephant caught eating sugarcane tries to hide behind a pole. It's kind of like the joke, man. Have you guys heard that joke? Have you heard the joke about, what Why did the elephant paint his toenails red? So he could hide in the strawberry patch? It's kind of like that. This little bugger's like, oh no, I'm totally busted, man. I'm totally busted. And he's eating some sugar cane. I bet he's feeling pretty good. But that bugger was feeling dope. He's like, I'm out here. I'm totally cranked out on some sugar cane. Oh my gosh, man. The elephant was feasting on sugar cane at a farmer's field when it saw humans approaching and apparently decided that the best course of action would be to hide behind a pole much smaller than its... Oh, dude, look at that. Look at that, man. This is over at NDTV. Sonya Jane. Sonya Jane over at the Offbeat, cranking out awesome stuff all the time. We're so grateful for you, Sonya. We sincerely wish you the best. We do, because you actually produce amazing content for us all the time. We have a great time with it. Is there a video of this, or is it just a picture? For your daily dose of adorable animal posts, look no further than this picture of a baby elephant that tried to hide behind a pole after being caught. Okay, yeah, okay. The playful elephant was feasting. I already saw this, man. You're just repeating it now. As per the Daily Mail, the elephant even stood still as locals shone a spotlight on it, hoping not to get spotted. Oh, here it is, guys. Is it a picture or a video? They just took a picture. Oh, come on, dude. You're right there. Why wouldn't you take a video? Why wouldn't you take a video? Or is it? Are we going to be able to... No, it's a photo. It's a photo. But dude, look at that bugger. Look at that bugger real quick. He's like, oh no, dude, don't bust me. I can't see you. Me no can see you. It's like, isn't it like your children when they hide behind a curtain? And they go ahead and they hide behind it, and they're like, you can't see me, I'm going to go hide. And their little feet are sticking out the bottom. Isn't it kind of like that? Oh, man, dude. I like elephants, man. I'm not going to lie. Elephants are definitely on our side. Dude, okay. This is a little bit of a mix between an announcement and a fun story. There is a website. This is by UPI. There's a website that is offering $2,500 if you watch 25 holiday films in 25 days. Here's the thing about that, though. You actually have to apply, okay? So a website dedicated to reviews of electronic devices and services is offering a cheer-loving cinephile the chance to make $2,500 by completing an unusual job watching 25 classic holiday films in 25 days. Oh, man. WebsiteReviews.org said, quote, Chief Holiday Cheermeister. The Cheermeister. That's been my nickname for a long time. I am the Cheermeister. And there's that's just the way that is. In fact, I am Chief Cheermeister. Whoa, dang, son. Okay. That's good. That's good. Will receive $2,500 and a year-long subscription to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Apple TV Plus. You got to do it. People got to do this, man. I'm throwing this out there. I'm throwing this out there because the truth is, and applications are being accepted on the website through December 4th. The winner will be announced on December 7th. And the reason I'm showing you is because I applied. I applied, man. I applied. And they ask questions, like, why do you feel you're the right person for the holiday movie dream job? And I should have said that I review movies. I did not say that. And then they had another one on there that asked where you live and why you think, what you feel about your state. Why do you like, or no, they asked what's your favorite state, something like that, and asked why. So I made sure to copy down my answers. Oh no, don't do that. I don't know why that just binged at me. Stop messaging me. I am not available. Turn it off. Turn it off, man. I don't know why it's doing it. It should not be doing that. That is terrible. It's going to be binging at me if I have any Facebook link open at all throughout the entire thing. Oh, goodness. I'm not even going to play around. Notification settings, dude. You've got to stop it, guys. You've got to stop it. Should I even be showing that on view? I'm going to take it off. Don't message me, man. Stop all the way. Stop messaging me. I'm on air. Don't do it. You got to message in the comments, you jerks. Otherwise, it's going to bing, bing. No, I'm going to get trolls, man. They're going to figure it out. They're going to be like, go to his Facebook, just constantly. Dun, 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 dun. But here's what I said, guys. Here's what I said. So good luck, by the way. Good luck on beating me. Good luck on beating me to the prize. I said I was destined from birth for this job. Being born with hair like golden tinsel, poinsettia red cheeks and candy canes flowing in my veins. I wouldn't just watch these films. I'd watch them with great gusto, bursting with gaiety and mirth. Yeah, I could have added, pounding down wassail. Pounding it down. Wow. Head knock. Wow. Watching as many of these movies as you want me to watch. I'll even watch the crappy ones. I don't care, man. I don't care. It's my favorite time of year. It's my favorite season. It is my favorite season. It is my favorite feast day. By far, Christmas tide is dope. And we celebrate. We pulled the whole 12 days, man. We ain't messing around. Here we go. Michigan is brilliant. Oh, and they asked, why do you like Michigan so much? So this is what I wrote, guys. This is what I wrote. I wrote, Michigan is brilliant year-round. A beautifully shaped mitten with an upper and lower peninsula, with seasonal changes marked by shifts in weather, creating spectacles of snow, colorful leaves, and sunsets of rainbow-colored skies by 5 p.m. It's no surprise that Motown, Beer City, USA, Cereal City, USA, and Motor City call Michigan their home. Although it is a little bit surprising. It is a little bit surprising that Madonna does. Like, have you seen pictures of her? I mean, I really do think she's turned herself into an alien. I just think that's the way it is. So, dude, I am getting off these Facebook tabs, man. All the way. All the way. We are getting off. I'm so sorry. Getting off of here. Getting off of here, man. Ain't playing. Oh, no, I got another one coming. What's this one? Oh, we'll talk about this one right now. That way I can get the Facebook tabs off there, man. Get them off, dude. I can't deal with it. Okay, so I saw this by somebody. I apparently have to call my friend. I got to call my friend today to talk to her because her mom watches the show. Her mom, I think, has a little bit of a fan crush on me. And by little bit, I mean big time. I love her mom, man. Her mom's amazing. And she's pretty mom hot. I ain't going to lie. Her mom is really attractive. She's done a really good job for herself. But, the thing is, I've said this before. I'm not, treating anybody specially necessarily here. Although she's a Team Tight Answer person too. So there's more that goes into that. But the thing is, this show is basically made up of some of the world's most intelligent and attractive people. And so it's just the way it is. I don't know why. I can't imagine why. But it's just true. It's just true. But I've been assured that I'm supposed to talk to her, the daughter, not the mom, the daughter. I'm supposed to talk to her about a story about vanilla pudding or something like that. And I don't know if it's the one I was talking about yesterday, about the lemon meringue pie, but the vanilla pudding that's got it normally has like Nilla wafers in there, and it's got banana chunks and stuff like that. And so I don't know what the story is. I don't know if I want to hear it. I'm thinking, you people are all gross. The things I do, by the way, the things I do for the show. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes. And oh, by the way, my brother is now in the comment section. Isaac, what's up, bro? What's up, Uncle Hoots? Love you, dude. Love you like crazy, man. I miss you, bud. One of these days, I'll have you on the show. You'll have to be here with me. I'm dead serious about that. Maybe on an unlisted video that's special for our subscribers and the people who go to the website. My brother's an awesome guy. I love him with all my heart, man. He's my younger brother, and he's just a great dude. But anyway, so here's the thing. So my friend, she tells me she's got to tell this story. Well, I go to her wall, and I see this, and she says she's going to take all of the leftovers, and she's going to make this out of the leftovers from Thanksgiving. I'm divided, guys. Part of me thinks this looks amazing, and I would eat it. Part of me thinks, even now, I'm getting a little indigestion thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't really know about this. I'm not entirely sure. What would you guys do? Would you eat this thing? The texture of it. Well, it depends. If those are carrots on the top, I don't know about it. If, however, those are sweet potatoes, I would definitely do it. And what's on the bottom? Well, it's okay. That's turkey. Okay. That's turkey. I don't know what the dark brown is. I'm not entirely sure what the dark brown part is. But then you got the peas. And if you can make a pie, even if it wasn't entirely this, for example, I would rather have something with ham as a base. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have the ham crust. It's my favorite crust. Except for fried chicken crust. Fried chicken crust. Fried chicken crust is my favorite crust. I love that crust on, you know, pie. And I don't know, everything else, even my lollipops. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah, tell me what you think about that. Okay, man. Baby gifted adorable puppy for birthday. This is by Courtney. Is it Pochin? I don't know. Pokin? I don't know. We're going to just call her Courtney. We're just going to call her Courtney. Baby gifted adorable puppy for birthday. Can't stop laughing at his new pal. A family have shared the sweet moment their baby boy received a puppy for his birthday, and the pair instantly hit it off. Oh, did they really? Did they really? Let's see this video. Oh, it's loading. Yeah, we're going to have to reload this. This happens sometimes. I really loathe it, by the way. And it's always over at the mirror. You know what I'm saying? It's always the mirror, dude. The mirror's always causing trouble. This video actually caused major trouble. This video will autoplay soon. Oh yeah, there we go. It's at least popping up because, you know, we try to play the video with it. This ain't fun if you just hear like, oh yeah, okay, so this kid ended up, you know, laughing. Okay, I'd like to hear the laughter. And they're like, oh, we're sorry. We're not going to play the laughter. Why? It's a picture. Just assure us, man. Just assure us. That's all that matters. They're like, we promise. We promise. The kid was cracking up. You'll love it. And I'm like, I'd love it even more if you actually just show the video. And you know what? It ain't going to happen, guys. It ain't going to happen unless it's down here further. It just simply is not going to. Oh, it's uploaded to TikTok by a user. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hold on. I got to go back because we have to go to the actual TikTok. I don't think I've ever actually gone so far since the show began. I don't think I've actually gone to TikTok to see the video. Oh, here it is.
What's up, I'll get your birthday present.
Whoa. What's this?
I'll get your birthday present. What's in there? Let's open
Oh, look at this little bugger.
it.
Fram.
Oh,
What's that?
what's that? Oh. Good morning, everybody, by the way.
You like it, bud?
Hi. Tell the puppy hi.
Yeah. Oh. Listen to that. What a joy, man. Look at that. Except, you know, that dog started attacking that kid. That dog's like, I'm coming to get you. I'm going to bite your diaper. Oh, man. Videos like that, I'm not going to lie. I just started to get choked up, especially that music. Wasn't that great? Wasn't that great? And yeah, we're TikToking it up, by the way, in the comment section. CF says, TikToking it up. Dude, we got to do a TikTok. I got to TikTok it up. Actually, no, I don't. Dude, is this still the China scam, dude? Is this really what this is? Man, are they playing Kung Fu with our private information? Is that what's happening? Are they ninjas on this crap? Is it true? It's out of control. Speaking of out of control, I said I would play this. I won't play the entire thing. This is too bad to actually play the entire thing, okay? As you can see, I replied to the person sharing it. What the? Is this some kind of MK Ultra voodoo, dude, you're trying to put on me, bro? It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And it's not gonna work on any of you, which is why I feel safe to play this. I feel safe to play this. This is, it's a song called Pope Francis by Emily Clark, and you can kind of tell, man. I don't want to dog people, right? She's probably the Johnny Q. Sally Sue type. Maybe she's even tuned in. Listen, Emily, if you are tuned in watching this right now, we love you. We are. We're laughing alongside you, okay? We're laughing alongside you. But, hey, we got to be able to say this. We got to be able to say this, man. Oh, my gosh, dude. Oh, my gosh. We got to watch this. This was shared, and we're not going to watch the whole thing, okay? But I hope you take it in good stride if she's watching. And if she's not, dude, please don't send it. I don't send it to her. Because she looks like somebody, you know, like, I can imagine she'd love the show. I can just imagine it, dude. let's see what it does here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, now may I already say this is already starting off a little bit inappropriate. Like liturgists and people familiar with this would be like, look, there's a lot of things wrong here. You should not be doing this already. Maybe not in, the sanctuary and stuff. Oh, man.
Oh, what a love, such a beautiful love.
Yeah?
The Father has lavished on us.
She's not bad. She's better than karaoke level, right?
He gave us his Son, his one and only Son.
Yeah.
That we might live and be free.
Yeah, this is vintage stuff, guys.
But the world lost its way.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I've got to pause it. That's very inappropriate dressing. That's very scandalous, man. What the heck? Why are you even showing that? Showing your knees like this. Showing your knees like that. And that's who thought of that? They're like, look. They're like, why don't you sit up there in the sanctuary area and just look at one of the banners. Just look over there. So I've got more of a criticism of the people who put together the clothing, right? The music itself, look, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it reminds me, I used to play music like that when I was when I was younger, okay? My dad played music like that. He played, adult contemporary Christian music back in the 80s. So he was on the front lines of that movement of people trying to emerge from the shackles of Southern gospel exclusive, because that's what it was, man. That's what it was on the radio. You turned on the radio, you tuned in, and you were going to be hearing, Southern gospel. And I like Southern gospel. There's I can only do it for so long, and I mainly like the more intense ones, where they get really pumped up. And they just, they just let those, because a lot of those dudes have pipes. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of those guys, some of the best singers, man. I'm serious about that too, by the way. But the thing is stylistically, it was just shackles, man. I mean, everybody was locked in. You couldn't escape that. And people finally did. And he started playing adult contemporary. And so music like what this lady's doing here, I want to get to maybe a chorus, though.
Lord did not give up on us. He kept his promise true to us and sent us a treasure to lead us safely home.
Yeah. In the comments, I got to answer this in the comments, okay? Tina. And it's okay. I'm glad that people come who don't entirely see eye to eye. This is not a cult. This show is not a cult. And so I'm really glad people come and talk to us who don't see eye to eye. She said, I love sacred music only. I love sacred music. But there's a reason that it's sacred. And there's a reason why, even within the liturgical cycle, there is ordinary time as well. Because, and they're still sacred only within that sacred space. But there's a reason why we have secular space. We have the world around us. And you are to take that message into the world. Okay? There's a reason why. There's a reason why certain places you have some things that are set apart as holy and some things that are not. And just because something is not set apart uniquely as holy for sacred use in liturgical moments does not mean that it's profane. And so we were actually on Meaning of Catholic. I'm a contributor on that program. Okay, so I come on every once in a while. Not enough, and it's been a long time. But there's a debate over there. Tim Flanders and Kennedy Hall took a position that said sacred music only, right? So chant, or they made the exception for classical music, but no other kind of music. That's you do that thing. To me, that was like the Catholic version of Southern gospel only, whether or not you're in church. That's basically, it's just it's kind of like the onlyest people, right? So you've got this crowd that is is very, very enthusiastic about that stuff. And then you have my position, which was defended not only by myself, but by Dave Hodges, my friend Dave Hodges, a highly talented musician and composer. He is a music critic. And so you can go and actually you can see the discussion on there about whether or not people should listen to music beyond sacred music. And what is sacred music? You know, what exactly is that? What role does it play? So I don't want to get too deep into that other than to say, I know I have great friends and family who believe that kind of a thing. But as for me and my household, our views can be best understood and heard and everything else by going and checking out that video. And I encourage you, if you haven't gone to Meaning of Catholic and you like that kind of content, make sure to subscribe over there. I really love it. I love working with them. Oh yeah. What's this? Where was this last night? At my sister's. Cute. Who the F is Cousin Swole over there? Cousin Swole? The guy in red has huge pipes. Dang. That's my mom. and dude, huge pipes. Okay, I can understand from the top picture being a little bit like, dang, dude, that guy's pretty buff. But you do a little bit more of a close-up and zoom in on that bugger. It's a little puffed. You know? Oh my gosh, dude. I don't want to bust on anybody's mom, though. Come on, man. Come on, dude. And yes, and Jesus, okay, and in fairness, Jesus is not entertainment. Hey, okay, I get it, which is why I believe that people should be able to make music that doesn't require people mention the cross or mention grace. That can just talk about different aspects of life, sad, tragic, mad, all the various moods. Doesn't matter. Romantic does not matter. I believe that is a completely legitimate enterprise. And I think in part, same thing with art, by the way. I think that art, people should, just because you may not be into writing icons, okay, you may not be into painting religious images or a sculptor or anything like that, and you'd like to maybe just paint a sunrise or a basket of fruit, or somebody playing basketball trying to dunk and failing, no matter what it is. If you want to make cartoons, it doesn't matter. I'm a cartoon guy. I've created cartoon characters, and I don't believe there's anything profane about that. And with an art theory and a music theory that matches, and so you say, hey, that's the way that goes. But very, very good. Hey, I love to hear that. And if you've got a difference of opinion, I've heard a lot of it. Right? I've listened to Rip Burger. I've listened to other people over at Life Site, stuff like that. People over at 1 Peter 5. I have listened, and Meaning of Catholic. It's my boy. Super intelligent guy. But if you've got articles that you would like to share with me, or videos you think I should watch that may give me extra things to think about in light of what I've said. Okay, so you have to be able to listen to what I said too. You can't just assume that I haven't already dealt with that. So if you go and you listen to what I've said and what Dave Hodges said, which reflected what my views are. That's why we brought him on. He's my buddy. He's my son's godfather. So very cool. Lucian's godfather. But if you have that and you want to share with me, share with me. You can do that at paleocratdiaries@gmail.com or go to paleocratdiaries.com and you can find us in the Connect section. All right. Man completes 463 juggling catches while riding unicycle blindfolded. Does this even matter? I guess this actually is a little stunning. But did he do it on a highway? Did he do it on a highway, or is it like an abandoned road? We're going to find out. I don't want to see the whole thing. This is 3 minutes of this guy. Oh, it's the same guy. No. No, dude. Oh, my gosh. This guy, Dave Rush. Give it up, dude. Oh. He had a blindfold on. I didn't know it was him. Oh, and then it comes on. Hey, everybody. Dave Rush here. Professional Guinness World Record breaker holder. He holds the record, doesn't he? He shattered a Guinness World Record. Wow. Whoop-de-doo. Good for him. More than 150. Has anybody actually broken more? This guy right here. This is his career at this point. He's like, I'm just breaking stuff all the time. All the time. And he's finding the weirdest things to do. You know what? I need to have this guy on the show. We need to have him on the show. And we are going to need to confront him We need to confront him on this. We need to say, what's going on, dude? Why are you pulling this stunt? We need to, he might be Illuminati. In fact, if you go back and look, well, no, we're going to see.
Folks, it's David Rush back with another Guinness World Records title attempt. This one
Another attempt. Dude, it's not an attempt. Has he failed? We got to ask that too. Has he failed, or is this entire thing just rigged? I have a feeling. I have a feeling deep within my bones that it's rigged. Oh, this guy, Dave Rush, dude. Idaho man. And they always start, who wrote this? Oh, UPI. They always begin this way, in Idaho man. It's not an Idaho man. Everybody now knows David Rush. And he's promoting STEM education. No, he's not. He's promoting his own fame and fortune. It's what's going on, man.
Day this last week for the most juggling catches while blindfolded riding a unicycle. Now, this is a cool record. It's already been adjudicated by Guinness, and it's the second time I've held this record. The first time I practiced for a long time, and I got 30 catches while juggling on a unicycle blindfolded, breaking the previous record of 10. Super excited about that.
Okay, so he already broke it. So he already broke the record. Somebody else even tried that? I got to see at least a second of this. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here he goes. Two. Yeah. You can do it, Dave. 3. You can do it, David. Come on, don't give up. Never don't give up. Look at the person on the side. Look at him. Come on, cheer him on, guys. He can do it. Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Dude, hold on. Is he doing Wolfpack? Is he doing the Wolfpack? Dude, I bet you money. Come on. Woo. Dude, woo. Ow. Dude, it's debatable. It's debatable. Okay? It's debatable. He might have been doing the Wolfpack, guys. I have a feeling that David Rush knows that we talk about the show. We talk about all of his records on the show. Probably watching. He's probably a member of the Wolfpack. I'm gonna have to, reconsider ragging on this guy. We have to confirm it. We have to have him on. We have to actually have David Rush on the show in the first hour of the show in the very near future. Staff, Ailey, get Wolfgang on it, stat. He's got that plastic toy phone that Nana got him. You have to hook him up with that, push the third button because it beeps and makes a certain noise. We've got David Rush on speed dial. We've been waiting for this day. We've been waiting for this day, man. All right, here. What's this one? What's this thing? What is this, by the way? Okay. It just says dogs. Why? Who sent this crap to me, man? Who sent this crap to me? Okay, we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at it. Is there even any audio with this thing? I don't know. It doesn't sound like it. I hate that, by the way. Videos with no audio. Whoa. Oh, okay, yeah, so the dog stole the food. I think it was dog food, wasn't it? And he's like, don't eat that. So what's going on? What's this video about? Okay. Oh. Oh, come on, man. Oh, dude. All right. So at first I was going to say, if the dog just stole the treat and didn't care. Oh, come on, little guy. Dude, look at his face. Dude, look at his face. My dog does that. My dog does that right there. When she eats something that she knows that she's not supposed to eat. And she goes and she climbs up on the table. And we got a St. Bernard, man. She can do that. I mean, it's, it ain't hard to do. It is not hard at all to do. She puts her face down like that, dude. Let's see here. We got 2 more funny stories and we're moving on to serious stuff, guys. We're moving on to serious stuff. And if you've got a funny story, and we'll go to comments right after the Wolfpack song. Right after the Wolfpack song, we are going to go to comments. So make sure if you don't have your coffee ready right now, if you don't have your coffee ready, if you don't have your tea ready, your Kool-Aid ready, your Slurm ready, or, you know, your water ready. If you don't have your water, I got to be able to, on the people drinking water, tuning into the show. Well, look, are you at least using electrolytes? Or are you just, if you tell me you're drinking tap water, I'm going to karate chop you in the neck. Not on this show's watch. Not on this show's watch. Tap water. I'm drinking lukewarm tap water, Jeremiah. I'm raising it high to the sky. And I'm like, don't howl then. Don't howl. We've got you sidelined. You cannot howl if you're raising tap water to the sky. If you have, you know, some kind, did I say pheromones in it? Electrolytes in it. If you have some pheromones in that, look, if you got pheromones somehow in that, you know, you're definitely going to be howling. You're going to be howling a lot all day, all night. It's going to be a bunch of fun, but make sure you got your coffee ready. You know, or food. We have people in India that watch, and it's nighttime for them, and so they raise their burgers high or corn on the cob, stuff like that. Raising it high because we're going to howl at the sun, guys, in just a few moments here. Man breaks 1 mile basketball dribbling world record by 0.02 seconds. Dude, that's a close one. That is a close one. UNC coach. Okay. Wow. All right, let's see this.
Running a 4.5-minute mile is undoubtedly impressive, but doing so while dribbling a basketball seems nearly impossible. But that's exactly what one UNC track and field coach did here today, breaking a world record.
Let's go, coach! Let's go. Push through, be tough!
I wasn't sure, actually, because it was so quiet. Everybody wants to run a fast time. Everybody wants to win the race. But truly, in order to do that,
okay, hold on a second. I got to see.
After clear, he decided to raise.
Okay, was he? Would you call that carrying the ball though? Is he carrying?
He decided to
That's
raise.
Pretty high, man. That's up over his shoulder. That's up over his shoulder. I mean, he's a coach. He knows better. Doesn't count. Disqualified. I'm not impressed, man. I'm not impressed. Infactually, that's the new way we say it, by the way. Don't make fun of me. It's the way we say it. Infactually. You were dribbling over your shoulder. Oh, we're just making up words on the fly, guys. We're making up words on the fly. Oh.
Program, which benefits
200s under.
Oh my god.
No, yeah, this guy's like, he beat it barely. Barely. Dylan Sorensen. That's crazy. He ran a mile in 4 minutes and 37 seconds while dribbling a basketball, and his record was broke multiple times in ensuing months. So he ended up coming back to break it. Man. He was like not having it. He says, oh no, I'm going to break it. And I hope that the people that broke his record, I hope that they can go back and say, look, I contest this. It needs to be up for review because the fact is, homeboy was carrying. He's traveling like a mug, dude. He is. Got that ball up there taking multiple steps. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You know you have been busted, by the way. Oh, okay. Is this the last one? Is this the last one? Because I thought I had one about a car. Yeah. Hold on. Couple horrified to find poisonous huntsman spider in an Amazon parcel. Oh, dude, have you guys ever found anything like that? Man, I hate spider stories. I don't know why you guys... This is sick. This is really gross, by the way. You guys are constantly doing this stuff to me. Look at it. Look at it. Its legs don't look right. It's all uneven. Its legs, it had to be broken off. I mean, this bugger's got to just be wildly dead. I mean, obviously, dude, this thing is dead. I mean, dude, this is bad. A British couple received an unexpected delivery after being shocked to discover a huge huntsman spider in their Amazon parcel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to start opening up Amazon parcels and being very, very cautious of this sort of thing. We probably should be anyway. We don't know, what kind of stuff is in there. We don't know what kind of stuff is in there. I mean, it's always a possibility. You got spiders, maybe some snakes. They had spiders, what, in a package of bananas recently? A big old nasty looking spider. And knowing how elephants are hiding, I mean, look, that one baby elephant eats enough sugarcane, that bugger might figure out a way to hide inside of this box. Depending, on what you're buying, but truth is, you don't know. You don't know what's going to pop out at you. And that would be a real bummer. What are some of the worst things? Have you guys ever had anything like that? Where you've gotten a container or you've opened something up and it's just been really terrible. Like this. 10 centimeter wide spider. Oh, dude. Yeah, you don't know if there's any more. Huntsman spiders cannot kill humans with their venom, but they are known for their size and speed and can cause a fair amount of pain if they do bite. Yeah, I'd rather not find out. I'll take your word for it, man. I will take your word for it, Lad Bible. In fact, who wrote that over at Lad Bible? Let's give credit where it's due. Let's give credit. Simon Catling. Simon Catling, you need a profile picture, dude. You need a biopic. For sure, man. All right, guys. All right. So, we are going to very quickly, let's get back to the, hold on a second. Let me make sure, main. Don't want to go there. Make sure, circle. We got the, okay, let's go to main real quick. All right. So, okay, it's the time of the show. Every single show. Where we, is that the one? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, it's the time of the show. Every single show. Where we resolve in our hearts, okay? Because we've had fun. And I like waking up to this, by the way. I like waking up for this. You know, where you get to talk to people, you get to tell people, tell people funny stories. People get to share funny stories with you. Yeah, you get to engage with the comments. It's a way to start your day. You know, so whether you're one of those Johnny Q's out there working the grind, you're out there putting that elbow grease down, making money for the family, sweating under the sun or shivering out in the cold, but making sure that no matter what it is, whether it's what you want to do as a dream job, or whether it's what you do simply because you know that you need to do it in order to make your dream come true with your family. And by dream come true, I mean even surviving these times. Okay? These are for you. This show is for you. If you're a Sally Sue, right? You're one of those ladies in flyover country. You're one of those ladies who, whether she's at home, whether she's, forced in a position where she has to do work, or whether she's figured out a way to fuse those two together, to create things with her hands, to be thrifty, right? To be an expert in something and to produce things. You know, maybe some of you are doing nursery care, things like that. No matter what it is, this is for you. Because I was talking to a buddy of mine last night. It's somebody, in fact, I haven't talked to him in a long time. I haven't seen him since his wedding. You know? And to be part of that wedding party, man, and it was awesome. In fact, it was the only time in my entire life that I've ever been into a traditional Quaker church. Okay? I mean, we're talking quiet. No, we're talking no music, man. We're talking brimmed hat stuff. It was an interesting experience for me to stand with him at his wedding. This is years ago. We were in the Navy together, and we got talking about it. It's been really special to me and really important to me. He said, I've spent most of my life not really thinking about politics and stuff and not thinking about culture and just kind of just doing my thing for my family. He's like, I got my wife and I got the kids. I got a home, and I've just been, going to work all the time. And he says, now, whenever I'm on lunch break, he said, I tune into your show, man. And he said, it just is so helpful. And he said, when the kids go to bed and everybody's in bed and it's, kind of winding down for the night, 9 o'clock, he said, I go on and I listen to your show at night. I finish the rest of the show. He said, it means a lot to me, because, and we talked about that. And I said, look, man, it's because it's actually for people like him. It's for people like him. It's for people like those in the comments section. Right? People from Wisconsin. You got Barbara in Wisconsin. You got people like Adam and Bethany. You got people like Brian and Cherie. CF. You got all the individuals that come in all the time. And they love to have these conversations. They laugh along. They play along with the whole thing. Saying, that's gross. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you shared that. And they're incorporating this program into their day because they believe. You have to believe this. They believe that it is one of those things, and maybe they like seeing how it plays out for other people, or maybe it really assists them in their own way to flesh out their resolve in their life, that no matter what comes their way, they'll never give up. And not only that, but they'll keep on smiling. And they're choosing wisely with their time watching this show, they're choosing wisely. It's a good use of your time, by the way, but always under the realization that we have limited amounts of time and that we're to make the best of it, that we opened our eyes to this amazing thing. It was here before us. It will be there after us. It's not something like a video game in the brain. Reality is out there and we're part of it. And it's powerful, but it's a limited time only. And it matters what we do. We found the world a certain way. And we found in this world that we opened our eyes to, that we opened it to a time where a lot of people are driving truth and beauty and morality and modesty into the ground. And the people on this show are saying no. And discipline and honor and virtue, hard work, patriotism, you name it. You can go down the line. All of these things that help to make this world we live in a better place for a long time, making advancements, imperfect, with its own sins in various seasons and cycles, but making advancements, working its way through difficulty, through sweat, blood, and tears, making its way to betterment, to be better, more righteous, more just. And we're watching as all of those pillars and all of those supports and all of those foundations are being ravaged. And we're all thinking, what can we do? I'm just sitting here, watching a bunch of kids, or I'm sitting here fixing some pipes. I'm sitting here at the sawmill. I'm sitting here driving a cab around. What can I do? We've dedicated this program, the entirety of this program, to you. To give you a voice and to realize not everybody's flying over without taking any notice. Not everybody's shooting you down. This is a show for you. So if special interests, big interests, if they don't like it, they can shove it. I don't care. I don't care. Because I care about you guys. And I'm glad that you care about me. And I'm glad that you tune in. So make sure that today you resolve deep inside your heart that you aren't going to play that game that the world plays. You're not going to do that sadomasochistic crap. You're not going to do that deconstructionist crap. But instead, you are going to build on the good. You are going to build on the virtuous. And it's going to start in your heart. It's going to extend to all those things that you do. Things to do with your family. Things to do with your job. Things to do with your church. Things to do with your city, state, nation, and ultimately the world. Why? Why? Because Christ is king, and because this kingdom and those principles of love, those principles of virtue, those principles of justice and of truth, of righteousness, of modesty, those principles and guiding lights are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And no matter how dark it gets, no matter how sad it gets, the darkness cannot overtake or even comprehend the light. And so to that, we raise our glass high. We raise our glass high to the sky, kiddos. Because, man, this is a small cup, too. I don't care. It is a small cup. And we raise it high to the sky. And why do we do it? Because we're going to howl at the sun. And we're going to howl at the sun with these guys here. With our little guys, our little girls. Ow! All right, folks. Determine right now. Give it all you got. Beginning right now. No matter where you are. I don't care where you are. Raise that glass high. Let the world know that you are alive. Come on. Woo! Howl! Let them know. Let them know that you will stand strong no matter what. No matter what. Come on, kids. I love that guy. I love all those people in there, but I have a special place in my heart for that little howler at the end. I do. I have a special place in my heart for that little howler. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Okay. Okay, we got to go ahead here. We got to go ahead and read some of these comments. Read some of the comments right here. Ailey says, the intro, talking about the lady doing the song, okay? The intro before she sings reminds me of the song from the movie Titanic. To be honest, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Played on the recorder. Oh, man, that's not good. Shirley says, I love all music. Okay, not all music. Can't do opera. Can do a little country. You know, I like country, but I'm really selective about it. You know, like one of my all-time favorite albums is The Best Of by Hank Williams Jr. I'm serious. I used to go out. I love listening to it, going outside, throwing baseball around and stuff, or going out and mowing the lawn. I always liked it, especially being outside. It was just, I loved it, and I loved it during the day more than at night. Okay, I don't know why that is. But I love that. You know, I don't know if I would classify. I wouldn't classify John Denver as country, but it's like their beloved cousin, right? Kind of thing. Maybe a little bit. So I like country, you know, and I like some of the older stuff. Although Hank Williams, I don't know if I can really do that too much. I like it, but it sounds after a while it gets a little redundant. So I give him his place in history with that. Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton. In fact, one of my favorite songs is Jolene. And I don't know if you've ever heard the version of Jolene that is slowed down on a record player. And they slow it down. Bro, oh my gosh. It's really good. It's really good. Let's see. KMO says, Papa Francis is Kennedy Hall's favorite song. Yeah, I bet it is, dude. I bet it is. He's got it on repeat one, dude, all day, every day. All day, every day. In fact, it might be the intro to his, him and Tim in the morning for that Masculinity Mornings. I got to get on that show, but man, I heard they recorded like 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, right, son. Yeah, right, dude. You know, James says 99% of gospel, meaning gospel music, is trash. You know, I don't know, man. I know some people. I know some people who play some gospel music. We went to a Southern gospel concert not long. Well, it was, I guess a couple years now, but we went. It was really good, man. Yeah. Let's see here. Monik, her sitting position in the sanctuary makes me uncomfortable, and I am a woman. Usually, I'd add a skirt underneath to elongate my dress. That's what I was saying, you know. And I didn't mean to downplay that and to make a joke out of it how she was sitting. But the truth is, I mean, I paused it for a reason. I was like, you know. There's really no reason for you to do that. It's more of like a TikTok posture anyway. You don't need to be doing that there. You don't need to be doing that. So look, I'm with you, Monica. I'm with you. I believe in modesty, especially in the sanctuary. I mean, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. James says, if you ask me, the best art and music come from messed up people who do drugs. Kurt Cobain and Johnny Cash. They were extremely flawed and made amazing music. You know, it's one of those things, man, where it's true, and it's the same thing with if you look at the history of literature. And this is where I think a lot of these Catholics just got it wrong, man, is if you look at the history of literature and you say, man, you're really willing to sacrifice some of the greatest writers and composers and musicians of all time on the idea that we should only be singing music that back in the day would only be heard in very select places at very select times in very select cities. It just makes no sense. I mean, there's not a precedent for that. There's not a precedent for that, man. Okay? Instruments are good, dude. Instruments are good. He obviously is not making money with this. Leave some records for the rest of us, you douche. Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's talking about the Idaho man. Oh, dude, he's obviously not making much money with this. Dude, he's making a fortune. Don't give him an inch. Don't give him an inch. If you've broken 150 records for world records, dude, just the speaking circuit alone, you know how many birthday parties and retirement parties that guy has probably spoken at? Unbelievable amounts of money. It adds up, guys. It adds up. Yeah. Yeah, Ailey asks, is there a Guinness record for most Guinness records? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. And Tina says Patrick Dempsey could do that. I'd like to see them compete. Yes, that's what we need to say. We need to bring this stuff up. And we need to have him on the show to say, look, You need to compete against other people, because I don't know if you're going to keep this record. Although, look, he's competitive because people broke his record, remember? They broke his record of like 30, and the previous one was 10. So somebody broke that, and he got up to 100 something. Oh, boy. I mean, he's way up there, man. He is way up there. Let's see. I'm drinking bleach straight to the dome. Dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Somebody call 911 for James right now. He's like, high octane. I'm going bleach. Yeah, dude, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. We need you, man. We need you, dude. We need you. Sheree says, Annabelle has her coffee. Brian Jr. has decaf tea. I have coffee, and Brian Sr. has his cold brew. Caffeine is life with kids. Totally true. Swiss Tex, hello from Switzerland. Hello to you. Hello to you. Ah, man. Okay, let's see here. A question here. What's worse, a spider in your food or in your hair? If it's alive, dude, I don't even know. This is a terrible question. You're asking a guy who's terribly arachnophobic. You've seen me on the show. I've had a spider before on the wall, live here on the show. Blam! Just hitting. I grabbed a book. Blam! Right against the wall. Ugh, totally freaked out. Shivers up my spine. Yeah, super bad, dude. Super bad. Don't know. My buddy is busy making babies. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, all my buddies, man, are busy making some babies. It's true, man. It's the way we roll. It's the way we roll. It's part of that right there is part of the check on the Great Reset. That right there is the crusade against those deconstructing the world. Look, it's a matter of demographic, by the way. It's a matter of demographic, and they know it. You know, they abort the daylights out of their kids. They contracept the daylights out of their kids. They LGBTQ the daylights out of their kids. And what ends up happening? Judgment of God. The judgment of God. It does. It ends up happening because the truth is, when they do that, and we've said this before, when they do that, the more they do that, and this is why we shouldn't be surprised at the concentration of power right now. We shouldn't be surprised one bit. Because when you are contracepting the daylights out of children and making it so that, you're not even reproducing your own, so you're not even getting to the place where you're reproducing a number that would be necessary to even keep that up. Okay, so you're below population level. You got one child. What's the average right now? 2. So we're keeping along, not making any advancement. But the thing is, what they don't understand is that in order to have the average of 2, most of those people with the average of 2, and this is an interesting thing, most of those people are not raging secular liberals. I know that people can be critical and say, well, you don't have very many kids. The truth is, though, most of those that do have not completely drank the Kool-Aid when it comes to the suicide death cult that's going on with climate change and all the white privilege crap. It's just the case. It's the case that they're, even if they're nominal in their religious views, even if they're just strictly nominal, it's nominal enough that they're reproducing their own. But when people are not creating children, they're not giving birth to kids, then those people, in order to maintain some degree of cultural power and influence, and that's all they care about. That's all they care about. If they don't have kids to distract them, all of a sudden it becomes a preoccupation with political activism. It's true. And so what ends up happening is they have to strive more and more and more to hold on to the levers of power. And how do they do that? Control. Because it's not transgenerational. They don't have multiple generations to look ahead to unless they control the levers. That's the only way. That's why they do it. That's why they do it. All right. Serious stories. I got to say this, guys. I was so happy, man. I have a buddy. And he's part of Us Against the Media. It's a really cool activist group here in Michigan. Us Against the Media, they got a cool Facebook page. They share videos of the different things that they do. And right here, see this? Trump supporters disrupt CNN's live report from Michigan. During a live report from Michigan this Monday, CNN's Diane Gallagher tried to relay developments in Lansing regarding certification of the state's election results. A group of Trump supporters in the background began drowning her out by chanting slogans, some using a bullhorn. At one point, network anchor Brianna, is it Kyler? How'd you pronounce that? Told Gallagher to hold her microphone closer so the audience could hear her words over the disruption. Toward the end of the segment, the crowd started chanting, CNN sucks! And you gotta watch it. And here's the reason why.
Right now, all eyes are on Michigan and they're on Pennsylvania because these states are beginning the process.
Let's go ahead and scooch forward. I don't really care about
county.
We don't need to hear
will
this.
be certifying the election
Okay,
result.
here we go. Derpy derp.
I want to get back to Michigan and CNN national correspondent Diane Gallagher, who is there for us covering this from Lansing. Tell us what we're expecting at this hour, Diane.
Yeah, so the State Board of Canvassers is supposed to be talking in just a few minutes that moment. You can tell there are some protesters out here who do not want them to certify that election. So if you can still hear me over the loudspeakers here, basically...
Okay, real quick. See those two? Part of the wolf pack. For realsies. For realsies, part of the wolf pack. Howling at the sun. Dude, I love it, man. Now, look, it's not the wolf pack that's inspired. These guys are independent on their own. They're the guys that I shared the video going over to the governor's home and having the bullhorn walking around outside the Great Wall, Whitmer's Great Wall of Defense, her security perimeter, her charged fence, the magical security video cams all over the place. I'm assuming armed guards inside. I'm assuming. And they went there and they were calling her out, man. Calling her out, protesting. Well, guess what, man? Guess what? Here they are in the back, part of the wolf pack. Come on, son. Come on, boys. Love those guys, man. Oh, dude, I'm so happy about that. We got to hear them a little bit more. This is music to my ears, by the way. Here we go. In fact, I'm just gonna let it play. I'm gonna drop out here for 1 second, man. We're gonna let this play.
There are 4 members of the Board of Canvassers, and this is usually pretty mundane protocol that they go through to certify what has already been certified by each of the counties. There are 4 members, 2 are Republicans. They had to certify, but it is possible it could go to the state Supreme Court. Here's the key real quick, Brianna. The key is that the Secretary of State says she can't do any sort of recount. She cannot do any sort of investigation or audit.
Make them uncomfortable, boys. Making people... didn't I say this? They've been on the ball, right? This isn't an original idea to me. I insisted. I said, look, we need to make these people very uncomfortable. CNN, everywhere CNN goes, they need to be uncomfortable. Because they're peddling crap. They're peddling lies constantly, over and over and over. These people are all fake news junkies, man. These are all fake news junkies. Arrogant people. Prideful people. They're vipers, man. They're venomous vipers, and they're trying to get their fangs into everybody. And any time that somebody tries to compete, they play with those levers of power again to try to take them down. It's what they're doing with Parler. It's what they're doing with Parler. And Bill Gates, it's hilarious. Bill Gates gets on, and he's like, Parler's a place for crazy people. And it's like, oh, you're against Parler? Okay, we're going to welcome, I don't know, a couple more million now. Thanks for the promo. Thanks for the promo, you crazy eugenic loon bird. Pseudoscientific New World Order loon bird. Thank you for the... I wish that he would say, Paleocrat Diaries, don't listen to that show. It's really crazy. It's terrible. I know I would get flooded with people. It's the greatest promotion he could possibly give us. Vince James, I don't know if you guys know him, Red Elephant. He said something here, and I want you guys' opinion about it. Because he mentions, I hear Grand Rapids, but then after that I hear garbled talk. And to be honest, well, I'll let you, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think he's saying, because if he's talking about people from Grand Rapids, maybe reaching out to him, having him on the show, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do that. Maybe it's a little bit of well-wishing on my part. He's like, Paleocrat Diaries. Maybe that's what it is. I think he said Paleocrat Diaries, guys. I think he did. We're gonna hear right now, though. I want you to tell me what you think what do you think he says?
Is watching. If Brad Raffensperger out there is watching, if any other Republican in Pennsylvania Raffensperger out there is watching, if Brad Raffensperger out there is watching,
if Grand Rapids is watching, is he saying hamburglar? What is he saying? Vince, you got it. You got to let me know, bro. And you don't need to scream like that into the megaphone. That's why you have a megaphone. That's why you've got it. And if you get too close, it muffles it up, you know. I watch him. In fact, that was the first time last night, man. I hopped into a D-Live channel. I ended up creating my own and commented in there. People were busting on him because they said he's short. And he took it really personally, man. He took it really personally, him and Nick Fuentes. They were like, dude, you're even shorter than Nick Fuentes. And like, I bet you're like 5'6". And he took it really personally. He's like, dude, I'm not 5'6". He's like, I'm going to ban people. Anyone who says I'm 5'6", I'm going to block him. And he says he went on to Google and he found that the average is 5'10". Or no. He said the average is 5'6". That's what he said. He said the average, I think, was 5'6" in America. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. I can tell you that personally, brother, because I'm 5'7". Okay. I don't even hide that. I don't hide it. I put it out there. I'm 5'7". And so, it turned into this big thing where he's like, well, I'm 5'10", almost 5'10 and a half, I swear. I'm like, who cares, dude? Who cares? You sizing up your shoes, dude? You seeing whose car is bigger? Like, what? Who cares, bro? Can you imagine anybody who's like, oh, Jeremiah's 5'7", I'm tuning off. Oh, nobody cares, man. Nobody cares. And the people who do, they're either one of two things. They're either the people like James Comey and company that are part of this elitist cult that hasn't gone past the idea that King Saul was a great king because he was tall. Okay? They haven't figured that out. We don't have any idea that King David was even tall. We have no idea. In fact, people of that time, he probably would have been shorter than I am right now. Maybe I was average first time. Maybe. But so you've got them, and then you've got the people. And this is true, guys. This is true in Tratty land, man. There's kind of this cult of physique, especially masculinity and stuff, where there's a spectrum there, right? There's a way to look at that that's legitimate, that says we should do our best to strive to be strong. We should strive to be hard workers. We should strive to be disciplined, to be multi-talented, things like that, to be caring, and to be able to show emotion, yet at the same time not to be a little Lord Lundy, like from Cautionary Tales by Hilary Belloc. It's a great story. Maybe I'll talk about that if I ever go on to Masculinity Mornings with Tim Flanders. I'll make sure to read that Cautionary Tale. It's a great tale. But there's a lot of these guys on that spectrum in the Tratty movement where it turns into almost this like homoerotic thing. And they're like, dude, look at this buff guy. And they're sharing all these pictures. Look at this buff dude. Look at his abs, man. And like they're really into it, and you're kind of like, bro, you're kind of a little bit into it too much. Speaking of into it a little bit too much, right here, this is actually part of it was going to be part of the title of the show. And I'm kind of glad that they went against they decided against that. We're gonna go ahead and play this. And I'm just gonna let it play, guys. 1 minute long. I'm gonna let it play, hop out so you can see the entirety. You gotta see the whole thing. And you can already tell, can't you? Can't you tell already by looking at this that you're going to be in for a real doozy? I mean, the lady's wearing a cassock. She's wearing a stole. She's got the pastel LGBT cloth over top of, an altar. A bedazzled cloth. Glittery kind of thing. But we're going to see this. This is actually from a documentary. And what is it called? Transhood? Transhood, is it by HBO? We're going to read about it here in a second. But I want you to decide. I want you to decide. Do you think this is legitimate, or is this maybe one of the most grotesque displays of child abuse on the spectrum, child abuse, indoctrination that you may have ever seen? And I want your opinion on this because look, there are a lot of religions out there doing crazy crap. This right here might take it to a whole nother level.
Good morning.
Today we choose to recognize, honor, love, and celebrate anyone here who would claim their identity publicly as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning, intersex, pansexual, asexual, or any category that I've left out.
This is Phoenix.
You're a little shy. Do you want to tell everyone if you're a boy or a girl?
I just want to tell them that I'm a girl.
Okay, you can tell them that. Okay.
Everything inside this kid is screaming no. And by the way, do you see that? What do I say, Mom? What do I say? I think that's a clue. I think that is a clue of what is actually going on here.
Phoenix would like you to know that she's a girl and she prefers she and her pronouns.
This way.
You may not know it. You may not know it. Let's hear that one more time. Let's hear what the mom puts in little dude's mouth. And then look how tragic this is, by the way. We need to pray for these kids. We need to pray for them. We do. We need to pray for them. And we need to fight back. Not by simply mocking. It'd be easy. I mean, there's a lot going on here. Okay? It'd be easy just simply to mock and to poke shots at this. But the truth is, this is really, really bad. This is really bad, man. And you've got a situation where this little dude is, you know, the idea that he's just coming up with this and he just happens to find himself in this crazy cult that does this sort of thing. You can see it, man. You can see the effect of the environment and upbringing in more than a couple ways, actually, in this frame. You can see it, man. You can see it, brother. We're going to pray for you, little dude. And the idea, he's like, I prefer personal pronouns of blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. No, you don't, bro. Believe me. Believe me, you have no idea even what you're talking about. If you ask the guy, what's a pronoun? Blah, 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 blah. No idea. If you ask him about the nuance of that debate, look, I would like to be called a lot of things that I'm not. Refer to me as the evening emperor. Refer to me as the evening emperor all the time. That's what I am. I'm the emperor of the universe. And it's so real. And don't just give me that name. It's real, guys. It's real. It's in my brain. The video game in my brain is telling me that. The inputs that I'm receiving from all around me are informing the downloading the information to an upgrade, blah. It's what's happening. But listen to what she says. Watch this. I wonder where he gets these ideas. He's like, heck no. Dude, am I really having to do this, Mom?
Phoenix would like you to know that she's a girl and she prefers...
Phoenix would like you to know that she's a girl. Does he really? Does he really?
She and her pronouns.
Doubt it.
May you be well, safe, and whole.
And look at this. Again, isn't this evidence of what I was talking about? Contracepting the daylights out of kids. So what? There's a couple kids here. I mean, I don't mean to diminish that either. But if we're going to talk about this video, you got to talk about it and say, so here we've got a situation where little dude is brought up by his deranged mom, and his deranged mom, maybe she's had it rough, man. She obviously has. I mean, she's struggling in many ways. It's evident to us. But the thing is, she's found herself in a cult. And you go and you say, well, what is your cult like? What are the demographics of your cult? And remember, I said people who buy into these ideas are contracepting their kids out of existence. Let me put it a different way while you see this optic here. They have contracepted themselves out of existence. Take a good look. Absorb it, man. All of those young people in the 2000s that apostatized from Christianity, they said, we're out of here. We're no longer Christians. We're godless. We're atheists. It was for a while a young movement, and in some ways it still is, but it always relies on deconversions. Rarely ever. When I was part of it, there were hardly any families at all that had children. And most of those families that had children, they came from religious backgrounds. Most of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. In fact, I know some that have a handful of kids. Some really great people, by the way. But the thing is, even those great people, you can say, look, within that community, within that worldview, that paradigm, that civilizational model that is advancing through these movements and communities, you can look and you can say, there's a time limit on you. Because if you look and you see, you will find that those who have children are often very, very alone. And more than that, sometimes they're even guilt. They're pressured into the idea of, you have enough children. You shouldn't have any more. Okay. They're banking a lot. They're putting all their eggs in the basket that eventually we're going to be able to just download our brains into some robots. And that will keep the paradigm going. Or that they're going to be able, strangely enough, through the democratic process, to take over. And once they do, to then, in an authoritarian way, to change the levers of power such that it makes it so that they change it and it stays that way. And they're crossing their fingers, hoping not to die. But the truth is, one day, just like these people in this crowd, just like the people in Greg Gutfeld's crowd at Fox News, the people tuned into that. One day, those people, now the people in the Fox News group, they probably made a bunch of kids. And those kids, some of them might be watching Fox News. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely anymore. But this group here, how are they going to get more people? How are they going to get more? Even if you say, well, man, okay, you're there for community, and yet you look around you and there's no other kids. How are they going to find a partner to pair with? There's more to the whole in Christ at the end of a letter that you send to a girl than just simply what the words say. There's more to that. It's an assurance that we are compatible. We can keep the paradigm going, not just our genes, but the group that we are part of. Not just kin selection, but group selection. And these people don't understand that. They don't understand that any sect, any group, all throughout time, they should read Jonathan Haidt, man. They should read Jonathan Haidt. But these people are doomed. Apparently, this is part of a documentary. Shows mother encouraging transgender toddler to announce new gender at church congregation. Filmed over 5 years, HBO's Transhood follows 4 children as they grow up transgender in Kansas City. Their parents, by and large, are supportive and push the kids to come out. By and large, they push them to come out and they say, look, you got to do it. We're going to go find that cult of old people over there. With that voodoo nonsense. Every single mixing, the ingredients are all there for that group to go away in a short period of time. It's true. In a short period of time. The documentary was released earlier this month, but one clip went viral over the weekend. In it, 4-year-old Phoenix, mother takes him to a Unitarian church. Now, again, this is super small. You can see the way that it works. Okay, you can see the demographics that it appeals to. Bring him to the lectern to tell the congregation that he is in fact a girl. Phoenix changes his mind about speaking, saying he is shy. And by the way, thank you so much. Who wrote this? RT. Thank you so much, by the way, for using he. Saying he is shy. Him. Thank you for that. Fox News doesn't. Sometimes even over at Breitbart or Daily Caller. Sometimes they will use she if that's the preferred pronoun. They're making sure to go check. They're making sure to go check and to see and to say, okay, I'll play into the game. It's harmless. No, it's not, dude. It's not harmless at all. Here's something else that apparently is not harmless. Apparently, this is as big as it's going to get. But this is a warning, guys. This is a warning. We're living in a time where you can breathe on somebody intentionally. You're intentionally going, and because you do that, you can be arrested. This guy, by the way, has been charged. And was this in Michigan? Here we go.
Get away from me! No.
Do what you want,
Get away!
I'm not in anybody's face.
You are in my face, and you don't have a mask. You need to back up. That's assault!
That's assault. That's assault right there. Do you see it?
That's assault! That's in my face, and you don't have a mask. You need to back up.
Look at that. Ah, that's assault. That's assault, guys. And you know what Michigan's charging him, dude. Michigan's charging him. Unbelievable.
That's assault. That's a good.
I breathed on you.
That's a good. Get it. That's assault.
Good. Get it. Do you hear all of the adrenaline? You hear that crap? You hear these weirdos, dude? The cuckoos are in the grass, man. The crazies are in the grass. They're outside, roaming about, in desperate need of someone to provide them with a really fancy coat with especially long arms that buckle in big bear hugs around their own body, locked from behind. We should do some kind of a drive for that. We should buy a bunch of straitjackets, man, as a Christmas drive to the people in need, because there are so many of them. There are so many of them, and we'll make sure to send them to them and say, hey, look, we bought this for you. Do you want us to help you try it on? And then run. Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, yeah, I hate doing this. Okay. Fox News crashes. Viewers cut in half. Oh, I did it again. What the heck? Viewers cut in half in 3 weeks. CNN beats Fox in daytime viewers. MSNBC beats Fox in every prime time slot but Tucker. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. Fox News spit on their audience, and their audience walked. So look at this chart here. Look at this chart. It's unbelievable. Dude, look at this. Fox News favorability among Republicans drops post-election. Respondents were asked whether they had a favorable or unfavorable view of Fox News. Respondents who said they had never heard of or had no opinion of the network are not displayed. So the dark green line, as you can see here, very favorable, is, is way down, man. Way down. Historic levels down. Historic levels down. Wow, dude. Unbelievable, man. So the very favorable crowd dropped just below 30. Dude, barely over 20%. Somewhat favorable is like 28%. So under 50% of respondents were asked whether they had a favorable view. And this is Republicans. And then couple that. So you're already at a low favorability rating. I mean, you're already bad. Okay, not good. Not good. But you sit there and say, what is the somewhat unfavorable? It's like, I don't know, it looks about 15. How about very unfavorable? Almost 20. Almost 20. You see how those lines come together? They're almost basically giving each other butterfly kisses. They're giving little Eskimo kisses. Yeah. The people with very unfavorable and very favorable, they're coming up to each other. They're coming up to each other, and they're going to touch you. When they touch, man, they get up there. They're going to spread the virus, and it's going to go, and it's going to spread throughout more and more and more Republicans that finally just say, enough! We're done with Fox, man. We're done with Fox. Dude, to be honest, like, I'm not part of the Tucker cult. I know people who are. They're like, dude, but Tucker. Dude, Tucker Carlson, I like a lot of what Tucker Carlson has to say. I do. I support him in a lot of ways. I think he's one of the last remaining mostly authentic voices on television news. But I'm not part of a cult following with this guy, much less the network. So you sit there and you go, okay, well, tune into him. You don't even have to go to Fox News, man. Go watch it online. You can go on Telegram, and there are places that will share on Telegram. They will share the entire episode. You don't even have to go to Fox News. Don't even have to go to it. Let them know how you feel. Anderson Cooper talked Tucker in the demo at 8 p.m. Ooh, wow, dude. Wow. Yeah, Aaron Burnett more than doubled the story in the demo. Unbelievable, man. This is wild. Wild. Because normally they're like 2 times the amount. Liberals flip out after prosecutors announce intent to charge Phoenix Antifa as criminal street gang. You got to do it, man. You got to do it. And the reason why, is simple. Okay, this is Maricopa County, by the way, the attorney's office there. More than a dozen of the leftist rioters have been charged with gang-related crimes, with which the Maricopa County Attorney's Office filed following an investigation into the event. It's totally a gang, by the way. Totally a gang, by the way. Liberals protested outside the office on Tuesday, demanding prosecutor Alistair Adele grant a free pass to the left-wing youth. I don't think so. I don't think so. They're like, oh, why don't you do what Portland does? Because we don't want to be like Portland. Because we're not Portland, and we don't want to be Portland. We're quite glad, in fact, to be Maricopa County, and we like to keep it that way. You want to be one of these folks? You want to be one of these people? You're going to be charged. They were charged as Antifa-style street rioters as criminal gangsters. They're citing the militants' use of textbook Antifa tactics, such as deploying incendiary devices, using umbrellas as weapons, and coordinating their attire in black. While some will attempt to describe these defendants as protesters, a grand jury found probable cause to charge this group with crimes, including the planning of violence. Amen and amen. We talked about this guy last week. Raphael Warnock. Abortion is consistent with my view as a Christian minister. Yeah, because you're not really a Christian minister. I mean, he's okay. He's one of those Christian ministers that's out there in Christian name only kind of thing. And he's out there peddling a worldview that is just grotesque. It's what it is, man. It's what it is. And where did he get his holy orders, by the way? This is why holy orders matter. It's why holy orders, it's why ecclesiology matters. It's true. He said it's consistent with his philosophy as a Christian minister because he makes it up on the fly, because his religion doesn't make him, he makes it. He doesn't support any restrictions on abortion, said that such a position fits with his Christian worldview because he's adopted the abortion industry's narrative that abortion's healthcare. Here's what he said. I believe healthcare is a human right, and I believe that it's something that the richest nation in the world provides for its citizens. And for me, reproductive justice is consistent with my commitment to that. That's what he says, man. I believe unequivocally in a woman's right to choose, and that the decision is something that we don't want government engaged in. Well, then, okay, so he believes that the government should not be funding it at all. Oh, good. He's for defunding Planned Parenthood. That's great. And for not providing any kind of special exemptions for Planned Parenthood and other abortuaries, making it so that they don't have to have any kind of access to emergency rooms and things like that quick access in case something goes bad. Or that they're not giving some kind of special exemption that when they lie to people and they propagate this idea that they provide mammograms and they don't, that they won't be protected, or that they can't sell baby parts and get mad because somebody outed the daylights out of them. Oh, so he's all for that. Okay, that's great. Yeah. Highly unlikely. And by highly unlikely, I mean the opposite of that. The guy's lying through his teeth. He's lying through his teeth, man. He says, I think that human agency and freedom is consistent with my view as a minister. And here's the thing. You'd have to ask, it doesn't suffice in and of itself. Human agency and freedom, if that's the ultimate standard for him, then where does that end? And how is that not arbitrary? Meaning, why does he choose to allow some things and not others? Is he cool with cannibalism as long as cannibalism is voluntary? Is he okay with that? Is he okay with pedophilia? Is he okay with incest? Well, where does this thing end with him? As long as it's voluntary, because it's freedom and it's what they want to do. Why and why limit it? Why does it require both sides? Does it require both sides? It apparently doesn't require the consent of the baby that's getting, torn apart and sucked out of a woman's body, sold in the market. He doesn't believe that. He's probably all about education. I doubt he wants to do a field trip over to the abortuary. Bringing the kids over saying, hey, look, here it is. Here it is, guys. We're going to show you. These are all the different techniques that we do. And here's, because we do it with pigs. We do it with pigs. We do it with animals. And on the spectrum, the way that people talk about, the way that these pro-abortion folks, the way that they talk about abortion and the way they talk about a baby, it would make them, in fact, lower down the totem pole than a pig, especially when you hear what they'd say about animals. So many of these people would say that the baby is a parasite. That pig is darling. Maybe you shouldn't, kill it. And if you kill it, maybe you shouldn't use it to try to, cut into it and show its organs and crap. Because they hate humans. They're post-humans. Lynn Wood drops late night bombshell. Would someone ask my never-to-be friend, Brad Raffensperger, GA's Sec of State, if he has seen this tape of election fraud at State Farm Arena in Fulton County, Georgia? Guys, I have a feeling, is this the one, by the way, about the pipes? Is it the one? Because we talked about that, remember? We said that there was a situation with the pipes. They needed to shut it down. They needed to say, oh, we have to tell everybody to leave because it was a major situation with pipes and that it was a line break, and we wouldn't be able to come back until later. I think they shut it down, what was it, 6 in the morning or something? Something like that. And everybody had to leave. And then magically, it was just another one of those instances where you have a whole bunch of Biden votes that magically come flying out of a plane. Showing up on the ground. Oh my gosh, dude, look at this. Look at all these Biden votes. Look at all of them. They're coming in like crazy. Isn't this just a convenient tweet? It's a little treat for us. Lemon drops and lollipops. Off a float of fraud. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, he says he's got a video camera eye. Oh. He's got a video camera of the event. He said several people have seen it. Many more will see it soon. Dang, son. And then he said, how do you spell election fraud? What really happened in Georgia? It is. It's the water main. In the Atlanta Hawks State Farm Arena on election night in Georgia, President Trump was running away with the presidential election. Then suddenly, it was reported that vote counting had stopped in Fulton County. And why? Due to a water main break in Atlanta. It's crazy. It's crazy. And all of a sudden, when they came back, bada boom, bada bing, everything changed. Now, here's the thing. People have tried to find out. They've said, okay, because of this burst pipe, you alleged that there was a burst pipe, that it needed to be taken care of. The counting had to be halted. No more counting the ballots in Atlanta, Fulton County. So people ended up doing a FOIA. They said, look, we want to, actually, what act was it, man? There's a specific name for it. All public records related to the pipe, Georgia Open Records Act, OCGA 1870, right? Big long act, or the act. And they said, please produce for inspection and copying the following records. All public records related to the burst pipe at State Farm Arena that occurred on or about November 3rd, 2020, which impacted the counting of ballots in Fulton County authorities, including and not limited to internal and external communications with any person or persons, communications with Fulton County Board of Registrations and Elections, memoranda, notes, work orders, requisitions, invoices, repair records, and all other public records. It's supposed to be comprehensive. And it should have been. And yet, would you guys be surprised? Would you be surprised if you found out that the response to the only public records generated as a result of the alleged burst pipe that halted the counting of ballots in Atlanta were a few text messages? These messages were with Senior Vice President of the Atlanta Hawks, Jeffrey Stiles, who called it a slow leak that was contained quickly And he said the entire thing was highly exaggerated. Dude, it's looking rough, guys. It's looking rough for the schemesters, at least in Georgia. At least in Georgia. And look, I don't want to get everybody's hopes up. I don't want to get everybody's hopes up with this. Okay? So we're going to go ahead here. We are going to go ahead and we're going to see some of these comments, man. Let's see. Back in the comment section. And I'm sorry I didn't do it in real time. I'll try to make sure that I keep up with this actually in real time. And that way we can go ahead and keep rolling. We don't have to always go back to this. But we're in the final hour, guys. It's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. And in fact, in a moment, I think I'm going to show a video, give my voice a break for a couple minutes. I've been showing a video. And it makes it, guys, you need to understand this too. It makes it so that when I share this video, particularly this one, I get a copyright claim. I don't get a strike, but I get a copyright claim from YouTube that makes it so that this video of mine will not be monetized. And that's okay. Because the whole point of me showing you this video is to show you not only the sacrifice that we make, and that's another sacrifice, to say, look, even the videos that I'm doing, these 3-hour-long videos, they're not going to be able to be monetized. Not by, commercial sponsors, people, commercials and everything else that come on, ads that you can skip through. And honestly, most of the time, you don't make that much off those anyway. I mean, it's true. Some make a lot. Some make a lot. But I'm essentially kind of sabotaging my own show in this way. But the reason why is because I believe that the cost analysis saying, okay, I know on the one hand, yes, this video is going to be demonetized. On the other hand, it is going to show you in the best way possible with image and with sound, okay, with great with a powerful, profound message, uplifting message, not only about the here and now, but also the future and what we can look forward to. Playing that video and the way that it sums it up in this profound, powerful, moving way, that right there is worth the cost, because it's going to show you where I send my kids to school. And it's going to sum up, in fact, the way that I view, in many ways, life. And the way that I view how we treat what we do, no matter what it is, whether we're working, whether we're playing, whether we're doing our homework, whether we're doing a hobby, it doesn't matter. Whether we're making babies, it doesn't matter, right? In all of these things, there is a goal. There is an end to this all. And we are constantly marching forward to that end. And for us, we don't know when that end is, but the end overall extends far beyond. We're trying to make sure that our commitment to that project, to that mission, that it's powerful and that we're giving it everything we've got. So I'm going to show that video here in a minute. And remember, because we do this and it takes away the money from the videos, I rely even more on you. And so I really hope that you go, and we have to put on there, we have to do a PayPal. We have PayPal, okay? And you can do that actually. Maybe Ailey can put it in the comment section. If she puts it in the comment section, I'm willing to say it over the show. Okay, but I should anyway. Ailey Bannister, okay, at gmail.com. Ailey Bannister, it's ALEEBANNISTER. Ailey Bannister at gmail.com. That's our PayPal. Okay, she's the keeper. She's the keeper of the keys when it comes to the loot, folks. And that's a good thing. She's the keeper of the keys when it comes to my schedule, too. When it comes to my schedule. And so you can send it that way. You can become a member with recurring payments of $5 by going to my website, paleocratdiaries.com. Okay? So right here, Buyakasha, just listening while doing some chores around the house. You're a breath of fresh air, man. I appreciate it. Look, that's the way you got to do it sometimes. You got to be at the house doing some chores around the house. I've got to do more of that, man. And I've got to get out of the house more. This is hard. I do this by myself. I should put something out there, man, for people if they would like to volunteer for the show in different ways. I mean, it might be hard in some ways, but to have them, on board over at the website, if people would like to write and have some of their stuff published on my website as contributors to the site, that'd be really cool. Even contributors, if they send some videos, contributors to my YouTube channel, they can use that as an extra an extra place that they can publish material, things like that. So if you want to connect with me on that, you can go to paleocratdiaries.com, and right next to the member idea, right, and services and all that, where you can find out about how to book interviews and speeches and stuff, and the members, where you can become a member to the page. Right next to that, okay, you will find all the information you need. Okay, you will find all the information that you need in order to connect with us. Okay, and you can do that again at paleocratdiaries.com. All right. In the comments, totally a Hank Sr. I have his signature. You have Hank Sr.'s signature. Woo, man. I'll tell you, I'm not meaning to dog Hank. I'm not meaning to dog him. Because see, I like that old country, and I also like bluegrass. I like folk music. I like all that stuff, man. I like most music, by the way. Okay, one comment. My grandma hated John Denver. My Uncle Joe loved him, though. Dude, John Denver, well, to me, there might be a cutoff a little bit with John Denver. There might be a cutoff because he started incorporating, saxophones and synths and stuff. And so I'm really into that old school best of album. I'm really into the old school where he's got the straw hat and stuff. He's a young guy, straw hat. He wasn't doing the synth in the background. No. Connection lost. Come on, man. Come on. I jumped out of a walk in bathtub I jumped out of a walk in bathtub 5 months ago, 5 months pregnant, because of a spider. It was bad. I would be out of there, man. I'd be out of there. I'd be like, I wouldn't just chill in there and be like, oh, hey, little bugger, what's going on, buddy? No way, man. I've seen them buggers jump. I've seen them run. No thanks, man. No thanks. Let's see. Talking about marriages that fail. Man, I wish I would have been able to. I heard making babies is fun. I can't wait to get married. Dude, believe me, making babies is fun. Yes, dude. It's powerful. Okay, enjoyable thing, right? It's one of those things in life that, God says to do that doesn't necessarily come with, a bunch of thorns and stuff and all that. Although, in fairness, the wife, man, she's going to go through some serious stuff, man. She's going to go through some serious stuff. And you got to be there for her, man. We've had 2 kids at home, okay? And we've had 4 in a hospital. So we've had 2 at home, 4 in a hospital, and 2 of those in the hospital. So 2 in a hospital, 2 at home, and 2 in a hospital that was the minimal touch thing where they don't want to give you you're not going to get meds, there's no beeping and stuff going on around you. They only come in every once in a while. They only, touch and engage with you if you ask. And so it feels like a home. In fact, the room is set up to give that feel that you're actually in, a bedroom. It's really cool. And so it's the closest thing to it, but you still have access to emergency care in case there's anything going on. Barbara says Stevie Nicks recently defended her abortion by stating there would not have been Fleetwood Mac without it. Barbara, I know. I talked about it on the show. I talked specifically about that because I'm a Fleetwood Mac fan. I'm a Fleetwood Mac fan. And yet I said, you know what? It's crazy. Number one, and all the drugs that she was on. I mean, she was making terrible decisions in her life. But doesn't it say something that that if your ambition is to become wildly famous, and your idea is to make a lot of money and do a lot of drugs and have a lot of sex, that kids are kind of not on the agenda. Ain't that a thing? Because they're unserious people. Because they say, well, one day I'll settle down and get serious. Yeah, that's actually a thing. Where they're not just simply wild animals. And we talked earlier, some of the best music is made by people that are blown out of their minds on drugs. I mean, that happens. There's a comedy sketch where a guy says that. He's like, if you're against that kind of thing, you should take all your favorite, records and CDs and tapes and 8-tracks. You need to throw them out, man. Because all these people, I would say the same thing a lot of times with literature. Some of the greatest poetry. Some of the greatest poetry in the history of mankind. John says, thanks, man. Wolfpack. Woo! Yeah, John. Dude, good job, by the way. Love you, man. You are rocking. You're one of my favorite new friends, dude. One of my favorite new friends. I hope you're going to be there at the rally on Saturday, the Stop Steal rally on Saturday. James says, Vincent is a fellow Catholic. You should try and interview him. I know, dude. That's why, hey, I'm on it, bro. I'm on it. I'm reaching out. Yeah, you're 5'7", I'm 5'7", and have a wife and beautiful kids. You are 6'4", no kid, no wife, no kids. You're winning. Yeah. Dude, you're doing good, though, man. You're doing good. You found yourself in a good place. That's what you're doing here, man. Person says a man's height does not make him more manly. It's his character. I don't know. I think there's a limit to that. I mean, well, okay, that's true. But there is something about the idea that, if you're like 4'5", that you might be very manly, but it may be a difficult thing. Like you're gonna have to overcome many odds. And I'm saying that at 5'6", man. I'm not dogging little people. Little people don't hurt anybody. I saw that in a great documentary called Under the Big Top. It's about the Newsboys. You should watch it. It's made by Steve Taylor. Oh, man. When sad, one of the people that spoke to the Board of Canvassers yesterday, when they made their pronoun statement, it made me want to vomit. They did that? The Board of Canvassers are like, hi, my name is, Karen. I am a they, them. Thank you very much. Beforehand. Blah. Was it just one person or was it everybody? Did all of the Board of Canvassers do that? That's what I'm saying. It's not as though this is not a serious issue. This is cultic, dude. It's spreading like a wicked virus. It's wicked bad. And it's based on a worldview and a concept of reality that is just absolutely wicked. It's untenable, man. And a view of language. A view of language that sucks. It does. It sucks, man. My husband and I didn't meet until he was almost 30. We married just before his 31st birthday. Never give up. By the way, I have to tell you guys, I should have said this early on. So on Thursday, on Thanksgiving, it's not just going to be Thanksgiving Day. It is also going to be the 18th anniversary of the greatest marriage that has ever happened, and that is between my wife and I. And so we're going to be 18 years together, married, okay? 18 years together on Thanksgiving. I don't believe that's the first time. I think it might be the second time that's happened. And so really grateful for her. And that's another reason why I can't do the show on Thanksgiving. I might do mukbang at night, though. I'm serious. What would you guys be down with that? What if on Thanksgiving night, right, at night, that we get together, it's an unlisted video, which means the only way to watch it is to go to paleocratdiaries.com. That's why you have to just right now, just write it down, put it in your phone, text it to yourself, share it with all your friends, whatever. But remember, set the date, because I might do a Thanksgiving evening video. It wouldn't be long. They're like an hour. Okay, my unlisted videos aren't very long, and they're always just fun. I don't get deep into politics. Probably talking about cool stuff to do with family, cool stuff to do with love and marriage and children, Thanksgiving stories and movies, food, stuff like that. It'll be a blast. It'll be a blast. Okay, and I'll mukbang. I'll bring some of the food. I'll have the food down, and I'll just we'll eat together. We'll eat those. We'll eat that corn casserole. Warmed up in the microwave. We will eat that together. Now, the Wolfpack supports each other, by the way, man. If you're out there and you're in the Wolfpack and you have a prayer request, make sure to send it. If you send a prayer request to me at paleocratdiaries@gmail, or you go to the connect page on paleocratdiaries.com and you send it to any of these people, except for Thotapop. Thotapop isn't going to reply to you. He doesn't care about that. He does. He's a quiet guy, though. He's a quiet guy. But if you send it to me, you send it to Ailey. You do either one of those, okay? The Team Tiny Answer email or my email. We'll make sure not only to pray for you, we'll make sure to add it to the prayers here on the show. Yes. Let's see here. All right. It was not a member of the board, but several of the public comments. Okay. So yeah. So the board of canvassers, nobody got up and said that crap. That's better. But yeah, some of the people who are in the crowd, and you know what? Unless people are engaging in the public comments, nobody freaking cares. Nobody cares. If you're just up there and you're going to give a comment and then walk away, then you're just shoving that in there. That's a self-promotional tactic. These people like the eyes on them. Hell-shaking street preacher, once saved, always saved is a lie from the devil. I don't know. When did you, where did somebody say that? Is somebody talking about that? About once saved, always saved? What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about with that? I don't know. Video, yes. Mukbang, no thanks. Mukbang, I'm not going to, look, mukbang, I'm not going to hype up and go, I'm not going to eat like that. But I would have my food. I was technically doing some mukbang with some candy on my All Hallows Eve episode. If you haven't seen it, it was fun, dude. And it was really emotional. The end of it, whoo, boy, whoo, buddy. It was emotional. Big time. Big time. So let's see here. All right. We're going to go now. We are going to go now to the video that I told you I was going to do. It gives me a 2-minute break. We'll be right back. And we are going to keep marching forward with a bunch of amazing stories. We're going to talk about a little bit about COVID, a little bit about the Great Reset, and what we can do. And in fact, how we have to fight against it. Because we must. And so don't go anywhere. Make sure to share it in the meantime. And listen to this video. Watch the video. Listen to the video. Allow it to inspire you as it has inspired me. And inspired a lot of people. A lot of people who are... a lot of people who are making the best of each and every day in all their gifts and talents. Unbelievable. So here we go.
You see me in my uniform, and you think I'm going to school.
You think I'm studying, doing my homework, practicing my Latin. You're not completely wrong. The truth is this. What looks like an academy is in fact where I am learning to dig deep.
To search with an attentive heart what all men seek, but few can name.
Wisdom, knowledge, it's the fountain of life and holiness. A sacred temple, the very house of God and gate of heaven.
What I seek, what I have learned to desire, is the desire of the everlasting hills. I am looking to lose myself in the sacred heart of Jesus.
Amen.
It may look like I'm going to school, but in truth, I am learning to chase after my Savior.
You do this at work.
The King and center of all hearts.
And I will not rest
until I take hold of him,
who has already taken hold of me.
Hallelujah. 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 God, you are so good. You are so gracious, God. You saved us from muck and mire, God. You brought us to this place, the foot of your cross, and we serve you. Every single day, with everything we've got, we serve you. Thank you, Jesus, for that. That's where my kids go to school. That's the mission. And I love it because it's not just a mission. It's not just a mission for the kids. It's a mission that I've embraced for myself. And say, God, you took a hold of me. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people here who've been in pretty dark places, man, who've been drowning in muck and mire. I understand them. I've been there. I walked away from God for years of my life. You can hear more about that story. You can hear it on Meaning of Catholic. You can hear it on the Team Tiny Dancer video. In fact, it's the #1 video. If you go to my channel at youtube.com/Paleocrat, there's a video about atheist family returns to God. That video talks about how God brought us back, and in fact, did so following the most tremendous tragedy that we ever went through, the most spectacularly unfortunate thing we've ever endured, and that being the life and death of our firstborn daughter, Samantha. And he's radically transformed my life. His grace is good. And, you know, I talk about what it was like in another video, my fear, loathing, and love of confession. I talk about, and you can find all these on my website. Okay, and I talk about how difficult it is and the struggle that it is to say, after years of being away, to say, I have to come back. I have to fall on my knees again. I have to repent. And when I talked about that moment and I said that I was going back to penance and that's what I was going to do, and I said it out loud to someone who saw me in the church, I was in the basement, and he opens the door and he says, Jeremiah Bannister? He was surprised that I was there. I was surprised that he knew who I was. I was trying to avoid people. I'd been on radio, man. I years before, I'd been making Catholic videos, which at the time was big deal. It was a big deal on YouTube. Years ago, I'm talking the earliest days. You didn't have big names on there. It was all just kind of regular folks. And so, you know, you have a video that's got 1,000 views. You might be the #1 video in that category for the day. And I was making videos left and right. I was writing for the Distributor's Review. You know, I had the Paleocrat Tribune. I was on TV. I was doing all these different things on AM/FM radio. Was one of the early streamers on radio, you know, where people started streaming and saying, okay, you know, we can do this now and people can access it and they don't have to be in the area to get the frequency. We did it right out of the gate. I was the second voice to go over the frequency there over the streaming audio at Olivet College. And the college was early on the ball with this stuff too. You know, and so to do all this, so there were people who knew me. I'm trying to avoid it. And this guy sees me. He's like, what are you doing here? And I told him I have to go to confession. And I cried. And when I told that story, man, it was pre-recorded. So, I mean, I'm in my room alone telling this story, just letting it come out. And I say that. And I said, I have to go to confession. And when I said that, when I'm in that moment by myself in that room, I knew it was just like overwhelming in that moment. And I just broke down and I wept so hard and so loud. I'm wiping my tears. And I kept part of that in that video. You can go see that. So I know where you're coming from. I know what you've gone through. I know where you've been. Not entirely, but I've been through some crazy junk. And I'm willing to listen. And so I encourage people, look, if you have not found yourself at the foot of the cross in a long time, or if you never have, and you need someone to talk to, you can reach out to me. In fact, I encourage you, reach out to me. And you can do that. Go to my website, paleocratdiaries.com. Go there, find that email, and click it, and write from your heart. It's private. I'm not going to put it on the video here. You know? Not going to do it, man. But I'm really grateful for each and every one of you. Shonda says, watching from Luanshaya district in Zambia. I had some friends in Zambia. I had some friends in college. That's where they were from. They actually wanted me to be a teacher at a Bible college there. And they talked to me. Their dad was the headmaster of that college and the president of the school. I think he was the founder, in fact. And, you know, I was doing really well, exceptionally well with theology, and these two brothers from Zambia, they said, look, we'd really like it if you at least consider the idea of going to Zambia, check out the school, and possibly teach there. I never ended up going that route, of course, but, you know, I'd still like to visit, though. So, all right, moving on. About election news, okay? Rasmussen asked 1,000 Americans, this is over at American Greatness, how likely is it the Democrats stole votes or destroyed pro-Trump ballots in several states to ensure that Joe Biden would win? Now, that doesn't mean, this question, by the way, there could be people that answer yes, and they might believe that person did it, but that it wasn't wide enough of a net that it was going to gobble up enough votes for that to be the case, but that they were willing to do that. They were willing to engage in shenanigans when it comes to the ballots. So half of them said it wasn't likely. 47% said it was likely. Now, this is a staggering statistic. Just 41% are sure, insisting it is not at all likely. Ominously, 36% think it is very likely the Democrats stole the election from President Trump. That's a stunning statistic, by the way. It's staggering. It's a staggering statistic. These figures match those of countries we could term banana republic. In developing nations, almost half perceive elections as theater of skullduggery, bribery, intimidation, and corruption. Across the African continent, just 44% say they trust the honesty of their elections, either somewhat or a lot. Remarkably, that Rasmussen poll found 30% of Democrats think it was very likely. Okay? 20% or somewhat, 10%. So okay, of those who thought that it was likely, 30%, that's the total. 20% said somewhat, 10% said likely. While 75% of Republicans have either strong or tepid suspicions. Same thing here. Same thing here. You got the breakdown. And the all-important question of whether your friends, and this is something that I don't think was in the other report, and it said that they apparently asked the question having to do, when asked the all-important question of whether your friends and neighbors think Trump should concede, only 51% say yes, while 30% say no. 18% are unsure. And people say, why would you ask that question? How would they know? It's not even about knowing or saying, oh, that's true about the friends. The reason, and this is the right part, the reason the friends and neighbors question is important is because America's top pollsters believe that question is that question is a more accurate reflection of the true intent of the person being surveyed. Now that we live in an increasingly fascist country where roving bands of left-wing brown shirts will either get you fired or blacklist you or physically assault you for supporting Trump, people have become shy about telling pollsters the truth of their Trump support. So let me repeat this. Only 51% say that Trump should concede. That is a frightening split, by the way. It is a frightening split. This is over at Revolver. And if you haven't checked out revolver.news, you got to do it. You got to do it, guys. It's a great one. This right here is over at Front Page. If the 2020 election was held in a foreign country, the State Department and Western media would declare it fraudulent. And that's important. And the reason why, we've talked a little bit about this, but just to reiterate this one more time. The reason for it is because, let's highlight that better. Independent observers, poll watchers, are removed or limited. Here's the, and this is why you would say, well, if this happened in another country, what would our media, what would our government say? Would they say, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just give power over to the other guy. It's perfectly fine. Unless, of course, it was a color revolution. Unless it was a color revolution, then they'd be, oh, no, it's fine. It's good. It's good. It's good. So here's as follows. Number one, independent observers, i.e. poll watchers, are removed or limited. Check. Reports of widespread procedural irregularities. These include suspicious activities at polls. Let me think. Oh, yeah. Check. Suspicious timing or behavior of vote counting. Check that one. Deviations in the very procedure each side uses for voting. Check. A media which is firmly in one side's camp and a restriction of the availability of information for the other side, often with attempts to restrict the other side from communicating. Yeah, check. Statistical anomalies in the results, which the fraudulently elected government and its media simply ignore. Check, 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 check. Check a ruse, guys. This is entirely fitting the model. And here's the thing. If we looked at any other place in the world and these things right here were happening, our government would say, these are shenanigans. Our media would say, these are shenanigans. Because they are. This is a blueprint for it. You can sit there. This is the fingerprint. It's the fingerprint for it. Unbelievable stuff, guys. I don't even need to deal with this one. I don't even need to deal with this one other than to say a dozen compelling allegations of voting irregularities in 2020 election. You should go read that, just the news. I'll skip over it because we're in our last half hour. But it's good, and you got to read it, man. You got to read it, okay? Here's this. Donald Trump says, look at this in Wisconsin. A day after the election, Biden receives a dump of 143,379 votes at 3:42 a.m. when they learned he was losing badly. This is unbelievable. There's another chart, and I wish that I had it. Do I have it? No. I wish that I had it because what it shows is it basically says here are the number of votes that were tallied at this time. From this time to this time, we know we can find out and discover we have it on record when these votes began to be tallied. And we have the number of votes. And we have when the votes were done being tallied. And we can say we also have the information on how long it takes machines to tally votes, even if everything is done at maximum pace and maximum efficiency. And you know what we find? Oh, surprise, surprise. Impossible! Impossible. Ain't that a thing? Ain't that kind of a thing, guys? Impossible. But these people, they don't care. They've been peddling this. They got away. They got away with impossible claims when it came to WikiLeaks. When it came to who hacked the DNC. Was it even hacked? In the way that we think, somebody over on a computer in Russia, sitting there typing away. Oh, I need to get as much of these as I can. Guess what, guys? Bill Binney blew that one out of the water. Out of the water, son. Oh, man. Bill Binney blew it out of the water. Describing, in fact, why not only it probably didn't happen, but why it simply could not have happened. And I talked about that, and I mentioned it before, in a video called Satan Called My Cell Phone. It was actually my buddy David Smalley. And pray for him, man. As I said, he's still dealing with the loss of his stepson. Death of his stepson on a motorcycle, man. It was really tragic. He was a young guy. And, just moving on kind of with his life. I think he was 21, something like that, 22. He was a young guy, though. Just moving on, and got in an accident, and it was fatal. And so him and the boy's wife, the boy's mom, Brandy. Keep Brandy in your prayers as well. Yeah, okay, Smartmatic lied. We're just going to blow through some of these guys and remember, if you like these stories and you say, I want to know more about these stories, sometimes in order to get through as many as I can, I go ahead and I show them, we talk about them very quickly, and we move on. And that way, if you like it, you can go back and see it, or you can take a screenshot, save it for later, go and look up that article. A lot of these are from Gateway Pundit, Breitbart, AM Greatness, that's American Greatness, Zero Hedge. So we've got a lot of different ones, including now we got a couple more of the nationalpulse.com and some others. But this one, Smartmatic lied. Lord Mark Malloch Brown admitted to license agreement between Smartmatic and Dominion in a 2015 interview. It's a UK company. It's a George Soros-linked company that has provided voting technology in 16 states, including battleground zones like Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. The chairman of Smartmatic is Lord Mark Malloch Brown. He sits in the British House of Lords and on the board of George Soros's Open Society Foundation. Well, ain't that sweet? Ain't that just a sweet thing? Do we have a video of this? Let's go ahead and refresh this. Do we have a video of this? Come on, man. Or is it just not even a video? I don't know. I'm not seeing the video. Okay, they published a press release. Because he posted a tweet outright denying the transfer of technology to Dominion voting systems. Yeah, right here. Smartmatic does not own Dominion and has never provided Dominion with any technology. Smartmatic has never had ties with any government or political group anywhere in the world. But that's completely false, by the way. December 2007, Smartmatic announced the sale of their Sequoia voting systems to, I don't know, Dominion voting systems. And what did they do? They published a press release. They published a press release. Oh, and look at that. Look at that, man. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? And in 2015, Smartmatic chairman Lord Mark Malloch Brown told a Filipino news station that Smartmatic uses Dominion-owned software. This was back in 2015. Unbelievable. Yes, he says right here. He says, yes. Well, I think that's competitors who say that. The fact is, yes, a part of our technology is licensed from Dominion, but you tell me a large technology company which isn't using, in part, licenses from other companies. And we have a license for the international use of that particular piece of technology. So, Mark, let me just cut to the chase and ask you, the license issued by Dominion for you to use for propitiatory software, that is a live license for you to use. Malloch, yes. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Here's something else really sweet. This is the future, guys. You got to deal with it. Dems threatened government official, her family, and pets in order to obtain government transition funds for Biden. It's by Natalie Winters over at the National Pulse. In paragraph 2 of the letter, Murphy reveals she, quote, received threats online, by phone, and by mail directly at my safety, my family, my staff, and even my pets in an effort to coerce me into making this determination prematurely. Unbelievable. She said, even in the face of thousands of threats, I always remained committed to upholding the law. The letter also reveals that Murphy will begin supplying the Biden team with transition-related information, documents, and access. So it's not only the fraud, it is outright threats, man. And this is why we cannot submit to this. This is why we cannot. This is why, look, this lady's got to call the Proud Boys. She's got to call the Proud Boys and say, look, you got to provide security. I'm dead serious about this. This is why we cannot let the elites and the powers that be come against citizen militias. It's why we can't. Because otherwise, you are going to have this kind of thing. Look at the certification board in Michigan. Look at what happened. Look at the power of threats. Look at the power that they're able to do if they bring up, oh yeah, your kids go to a school where some of those kids might not like their relation to you, and you'd hate to see something happen to them. Look at the power of that. Look at the power of that. That's not, yeah, by the way, just so you know, dog whistle is exactly what that is, man. They're letting their stormtroopers know. They're letting their fascistic brown shirts know. You know what, man? Their kids go to this school. Their kids go to this school. I'd hate to have somebody show up. Man, I have friends who, people outside the school taking crazy pictures. And yet what do? We wear this hat and we refuse. We refuse to allow them to overwhelm us. We do not allow them to make it such that we will do things that go against our principles, because our principles are good. Our principles are reasonable, true, righteous, and fair. And they're realistic. They're realistic. The letter also reveals that Murphy will begin supplying Biden with transition-related information, documents, and access. She, however, makes a distinction that, quote, the actual winner of the presidential election will be determined by the electoral process detailed in the Constitution. But look at what they do. It doesn't matter if it's words. It doesn't matter, you know, all of these things that they do. They pressure us. They shame us. They've done it forever. We become accustomed to it. We become accustomed to it. It's why we say we're the Johnny Q and Sally Sue on Main Street in flyover country. That's why we say that on the show. That's why we say that people who watch this, deplorables, man, they hate you. They need to re-educate you. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. It's amazing because the last group that you can easily make fun of without anybody barking or biting are the redneck hillbillies, are the white folks. It's true. And the thing is, you can say this. It's kind of like saying, it would be like a medical institution. It's like, well, we're using in our language and in our contracts and everything else, we're using that phony language of gender being this kind of amorphous thing, this blob that can stretch in any direction that anybody feels in their brain. But yet, decisions that we make are still based on science and biology. Nice try, because you've just let in the Trojan horse. And it is loaded with people who are going to play lawfare against you. Which is true. Facebook's election fact checker is honored by Biden in 2017. Employees donated exclusively to Democrats. This is by Natalie Winters over at the National Pulse. This is the so-called Bipartisan Policy Center, the organization spearheading Facebook's Voting Information Center. You say, well, okay, well, what's up with this? What's up with this? So Facebook attempts to discredit claims by exclusively citing the Bipartisan Policy Center. Yeah, okay, so this is Breitbart. Investigators dispatched after Fulton County discovers issues with ballot reporting. So the group here that goes ahead and puts it together, that group, if you click on it, despite the group's self-selected bipartisan label, Federal Election Commission records show that every penny directed to the 2020 presidential election went to da-da-da-da. Let's do drum roll, guys. We don't know the answer. Democratic candidate Joe Biden. Oh, bipartisan. Oh, yeah. Every penny of your institution went to one. Bipartisan. Bipartisan is a freaking lie. Look, there is some fairness to this. There is some fairness because that label, bipartisan, is actually a uniparty. It is a uniparty scheme. It's a uniparty scheme. And even down ballot or even in the past, you say, and of the group's total 608 donations to federal companies, virtually all have gone to Democrats. A trace amount, though, has gone to support Republicans. I wonder who they are. Oh, I don't know. John McCain, Cory Gardner, uniparty. What did I say, man? Uniparty. What's this? CDC, U.S. Outpatient Influenza-like Illness Surveillance Network, monitors outpatients' visits for influenza-like illness, ILI. And as such, we're going to capture visits due to other respiratory pathogens, such as SARS-CoV-2, that present with similar symptoms. And William Briggs writes, golly, this is why CDC stopped reporting separate flu and pneumonia deaths. Key points. Here we go. Flu activity is unusually low at this time, but may increase in coming months. Oh, it might. Oh, it might. It's unusually low. Isn't it weird, guys, how low the flu is right now? Ain't it weird, guys? And yet, if you add the statistics, for COVID, and you say, well, what does that chart look like on the timing of the spikes and how high the spikes go and how long they last and how you overlay them over top of a graph with a whole bunch of other years of the exact same statistics. And what do you find? What do you find? Lo and behold, it's indistinguishable. It's indistinguishable. So they're like, how are you going to explain that all of a sudden there's a bunch of COVID going around? And yet for some weird reason, there's not the flu. The flu just disappeared, guys. Magic thoughts. Magic thoughts. It's fake, man. Oh. A list of Republicans who turned their back on Trump, calling for him to concede. Mitt Romney, that's a given. Marco Rubio, that's a given. Mike Shirkey, screw him. Let's see. Paul Mitchell from Michigan, screw him. Fred Upton from Michigan, screw him. Liz Cheney, okay, yeah, predictable. New World Order hack. part of the Biden team anyway, right? Pat Toomey, you can see how far conservatism's gone, guys. Remember when Pat Toomey was like really cool? It's like, yeah, man, Pat Toomey. Chamber of Commerce supports him, man. Yeah. And everybody's like, yay, Pat Toomey. Oh, man. And you can see Whitmer warns of legal ramifications for anyone attempting to disenfranchise black voters. Do you see how this plays itself out? Do you see how they put this thing together? How they frame it? It's a powerful frame, by the way. It's one of those things. I saw Mike Cernovich yesterday. I saw him, he did a Periscope, and he was talking about how facts and emotion. And he was saying, I don't care about facts. Now, he does care about facts, but when trying to relay messaging, he realizes the role of feeling and fact, and which one, in fact, comes earlier than the other, and which one, how do people even translate what they understand as facts? And so much of it is based on feeling. So much of it is based on emotion and intuition. And so you sit there and you have to know this. You have to know the primacy of emotion and feeling over facts in the way that most people, when presented with facts, will hear them, interpret them, reject them, or accept them. It's just the way it works. It's just the way that it works, guys. Psychologically, it's without a doubt, in fact. That's why we're not rationalistic. But the idea is, if you listen to this narrative, it's amazing. It's powerful, man. And it's one we've got to fight against. By the way, Samantha Nicholas, it's nice to see you, by the way. And yes, you say, are you just live on here or on other platforms? I'm live on multiple platforms. And in fact, I don't have a donate option yet. You can go and you can donate. Look, you can donate a couple different ways. Okay, she's in the comments section. Okay, and in fact, I'm on right now. I'm on a bunch of different Facebook pages. I'm on a bunch of different YouTube channels. If someone wants to give me a super chat, and you have to know, though, I don't know if you know this, that YouTube takes 50% of that super chat. So I always encourage people, if you want to donate, let's say $5 or whatever you want to donate, you have to know that YouTube is gobbling up 50%. And so there is a channel, Holy Faith Media, and see my live video. You can do a super chat there, or I encourage people a couple different options. One of those is Cash App. And yes, Cash App. I am money symbol. In fact, I'll go ahead and put it up right now. News. Do I have a video showing? Okay. Yeah, money symbol Paleocrat. So it's the money symbol, capital P A L EOCRAT. I'll go ahead and I'll send it to you right now. I can actually reply right now. And I'm really grateful, by the way. I appreciate it. Let's see. Money symbol. Paleocrat on Cash App. There you go. So, okay. Yes, and that's the way you can do it. Or, of course, if you want to do a bigger donation, you can, of course, do PayPal. That's another way. Or the greatest way is to go to paleocratdiaries.com, and you can find the page there that has to do with members, and that is a $5 recurring thing. So if you wanted $5 a month, otherwise, if you don't want recurring, Cash App may be a way to go. And it's cool that you knew what that was. Yes, you can definitely use that. I have people who send donations via Cash App. Very, very excited about that. But it's not only this, getting back to the message here, it's not just the idea of that trying to be strict about the ballots is disenfranchising black voters. That would be one of these things. Like, what is she saying, by the way? And you can see anytime that they trot out black people to prop them up as a defense for themselves. There ain't no black people in her, like the way that the people that she surrounds herself with, the people that Biden surrounds himself with, they ain't throwing no bones, man. They ain't throwing no bones. And so you sit there and you go, dude, these are white elitists, by the way, by and large, right? White elitists, white and Jewish elitists. It's the way that works, by the way. And they can say, well, that's not right. I can't believe you'd bring them up like that. And I'd say, well, even the white liberals say that Jewish people are passing as white. And so, and a lot of black people would agree with that too, by the way. But the thing is she props these people up, just like they always do. She props these people up. And what ends up happening, right? In order to say that you would disenfranchise them, if you say, well, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it so that, black people are going to be not be able to vote, and you're going to go and look at it and find out that they messed it up. You're going to have to basically throw black people under the bus and insist that many of them, maybe a ton of them, either voted as they shouldn't, because if we're only going after legal ballots, that's all we're going after. If we're only going after ballots that were legally filled out, done within a time frame that is legally allotted, put together by the legislature, if that's the only group of ballots that we're dealing with, then what are you saying about black people? Dang, girl. Your racism is showing. It just is. Your racism is showing. But it's why they censor us. It's why they drum this up, because the optics of that. Nobody wants to disenfranchise black voters. We want to disenfranchise illegal votes. We want to disenfranchise the large amount of ballot drops, these ballot dumps that took place in the middle of the night with statistical improbability to a degree that it's impossible. We would love, of course, to make sure that those things are not counted. But if you say you don't want black people to vote, I would sit there and look at you and say, you're a racist weirdo. You're a racist weirdo. I take the position, red, yellow, black, and white, we are precious in his sight. Amen. And more than that, it doesn't matter which color scheme you are, that vote is for you. Make sure it's done properly. There are rules about it. That's it. That's it. I'm somebody, man, it's funny, someone could accuse me of that. I'm like, you know what? I've been against emergency financial management in the state of Michigan for so many of these cities for a very, very, very long time, speaking out about it a great deal. So the idea that I'm not an advocate for making it so that black people are not disenfranchised from their vote, because that's what happens. That's what happens. And that's garbage, man. And it's garbage. By the way, yes, talking about the Great Reset and Trump 2020. That's why I got the hat, girl. That's why I got the hat, Samantha. I'm really glad you are here. I'm really glad you're here. And yes, I'll make sure to check the app. Yes. I appreciate it. Fundamental change. I don't know how long. I guess it'll always be the conservativetreehouse.com, but it's going to look different. They have to switch over. WordPress is now making sure that they said that the message of Conservative Treehouse does not align with the message of WordPress. They're coming for us. And in fact, doesn't it kind of make you feel like a little bit that this is like the mark of the beast stuff? Doesn't it a little? I remember the early days of the internet. People would be like, oh my gosh, www is, World Wide Web. And it means in numerology, if you look at Hebrew and you look at Vav, 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 that those, that numeral, right? That letter and number at the same time in numerology, that would be 666. And I remember their eyebrows going way high and everything. And I thought, man, that's cuckoo crazy. It's cuckoo crazy. And now I'm looking at it and I'm saying, man, wow, how are they going to wrangle us in? It all comes back to this exact same place. It all comes back to this exact same place with these exact same characters, masters of the universe. It's not just about narrative control. It's not just about message control. It's not just about thought control. It's not just about speech control. It's about a great reset. And the bigger that we understand this picture, right, according to the article here, understanding the bigger picture is to understand how the fundamental change issues are not directly connected to the ongoing 2020 debate challenges, ballot issues, election outcome, etc. Yet the fundamental change issues required a Biden election. Why is COVID-19 so important politically? Why? This discussion thread explains why. And you go through and you ask, you say, why is COVID-19 being disproportionately hyped as such a dangerous threat when the reality of the statistical danger is much less than the intense level of hype? And by much less, there's a great article, I may have skipped over it, talking about, statistically speaking, the mortality rate from COVID is ranked 4th in the United States over the last 100 years or whatever, 120 some years. It's nowhere close to the worst. Not even close. But this is the key question. The answer is social changes under the guise of COVID-19 mitigation are the entry point for the goals and aspirations of the political left on a national and global scale. It's a political weapon. It is a political weapon. And it's kind of like egalitarianism. You need to understand egalitarianism as an ism, environmentalism as an ism. All of these things. You need to understand this is a political weapon. Democracy. Democracy. The way that the left talks about democracy. It's a political weapon. It's a tool. Altogether, these are boards that people have nailed together, that the New World Order elites have nailed together. These scumbags nailed together to create the Trojan horse. Yeah. These people are scheming right here. Yeah, scheming, conniving, ever planning, ever manipulating, Machiavellian types within the political system, lusting for power, influence, and affluence. Yeah, weaponizing COVID for the fundamental change. And you can watch this video right here. We'll watch it. And I'll step off the screen for a minute. I'll go about another 10 minutes because we started late. I'll go about another 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes, and we're done. So I'm really grateful, by the way. Make sure to share this with your friends. Share it as far and as wide as you possibly can because I rely on you. I don't want to rely on sponsors and stuff that will tell me what I can and cannot say. With the threat, of course, holding over me the idea of we can pull the funds, bro. We can pull the funds, and if we pull the funds, where are you going to be? We can come after you. Where are you going to be? You can see how it's done to names much bigger than myself. I'd be much more vulnerable to that kind of attack. And so instead, what do? I rely entirely on people like you. Johnny Q and Sally Sue. The regular folks, man. I love you, regular folks. I love you, regular folks, and every single day, except for tomorrow. Although tomorrow night, remember, we're going to do a unlisted video. You can find that at paleocratdiaries.com. I will probably do it. What time would you say, man? I got to decide 8 or 9. I'll decide. I'll publish the link for it. I'll set the unlisted YouTube video. I'll set it to premiere at a certain time. And that way you can go ahead and save it, right? For a live video, you can go ahead and save it and set to watch later. Even click the little bell to notify you when that unlisted video is going to go. And we'll eat some food. Make sure that you have that. Make sure you have some food. I want to talk to you about that. It's only going to be fun. We're not going to get into political stuff. Although, like last time when we did it on All Saints Day, I cried. It was emotional. And if you haven't seen that, man, that is a powerful video. It's funny. I started in a sombrero. I'm wearing a sombrero. I'm in an outfit. I'm eating candy the whole time. And at the end, I end up talking about my daughter. And it was just powerful. But here we go. We're going to play this video here. And let's see how long it is first. Oh, it's a minute and a half. Okay, that's good. So let's go ahead and just zoom up on that bad boy. I'm going to step out of here. I'm going to step out and let you go ahead and see this.
Look, a pandemic doesn't play favorites, nor will I. As I said, no red states, no blue states, just the United States, united in our response, united in our purpose to stop the spread of COVID-19 and beat this virus. First, I'll go to every governor, urge them to mandate mask wearing in their states. And if they refuse, I'll go to the mayors and county executives and get local masking requirements in place nationwide. As president, I'll mandate mask wearing in all federal buildings and all interstate transportation because masks save lives, period. Just look what happened in Arizona. Republican governor initially tried to bar local governments from implementing mandates on their communities. What happened? In June, Arizona got hit with a surge of cases. Hospitals were flooded. The state health system was overwhelmed. So cities and counties appealed the governor's ruling. They imposed their own local mandates, covering most of the state. The result? Cases fell by 75%. Wearing a mask is not a political statement. It's a scientific imperative. It's a point of patriotic pride.
Do you see the frame? We've already talked about this. It's a scientific imperative. No, it's not. No, it's not. He's lying through his teeth. Do you see the frame, though? Do you see the frame? You know, every single worldview, every single one. This is why there is no neutrality when it comes to worldviews. This is why the transcendental argument is so powerful. It's why the presuppositional claim is so powerful. Because none of these worldviews can avoid the covenant. None of these views can avoid the idea of hierarchy, authority, some mechanism or means by which to make it transgenerational. How do you keep the program going? What is required for you to do it? How do you get authority? How are you assured that what you are dealing with is in fact true and that you can trust it? So for him, the idea is creating this fake thing, this Bill Nye the Science Guy caricature, and to say, hey, look, science says, bullcrap, man. Number one, you don't have any tests. Your research and studies are, I don't know, out for a vacation. Where are they, man? Where are they? They're peeing out back because they ain't anywhere around, man. They ain't anywhere around. But we do, on the other hand, we do have studies like that large Danish study that just came out that talks about the problems with masks. It talks about the problems with masks. And here's the thing. You know what makes this crazy? You know what makes it crazy? And then you say, look, man, this is actually a study that was put together that can be replicated. You can go ahead and you can try to replicate this. But what does big tech do? What does big tech do? Big tech makes sure that if you share that and you share claims from that they're going to block you. They are going to make sure that you submit, not to the truth, but to their power. To their power, man. Because that is what their religion is. It's the religion of Pharaoh. And we have to have a different strategy, folks. We have to have a different strategy because you have to imagine this. And I like this. Imagine here. I'm going to read a lot of this here. As you watch this video from Biden's campaign, it's important to remember state government officials have already moved to define essential business and essential workers during the shutdown. It's going to become a bigger issue downstream. And think about this. The Department of Transportation would be the agency enforcing a national interstate transit mask requirement. Imagine that. But he says, however, don't focus on the Department of Transportation part. Instead, focus on the downstream use of all federal regulatory agencies and how they align within a federal COVID compliance network. That is the river. It's the Great Reset. This is the mechanism. This is the tool. These are the levers. Think about the Department of Agriculture, SNAP, food stamps, the Department of Labor, Department of Education, Occupational Health and Safety Administration, OSHA, Housing and Urban Development, Health and Human Services, Department of Labor, Department of Energy, and how they would join with the Department of Transportation to create the aggregate raging river of regulation. Think about federal government using mandates for enforced national COVID-19 compliance rules. Imagine the USDA and OSHA federal inspections for social distancing in all business, not just restaurants. Compliance, man. How about Department of Education? Regulations on charter schools, non-compliant educational systems that do not meet the ideological objectives of the master control plan. Think about Department of Labor. Think Department of Labor and how a complaint division can be weaponized against political opposition based on arbitrary inspections. We saw this recently. Oh, you got a complaint of a bar in New York. And what happened? They chanted them the heck out of Dodge. You have to. We have to stand up. Otherwise, we are literally the frog in the boiling water. We're already really deep into this, guys. If you think this has just started or it's just coming our way, that's not true. It's been around us for so long, for months and months and months. We don't even fully realize to what degree our habits have been transformed. We do not fully appreciate. We do not fully appreciate or understand. We're slow, like we are with mediums. We are with technology to understand to what extent technology or decisions made in a political economy have just wreaked havoc all around us and even within. We don't fully understand yet. We cannot fully appreciate the degree to which our lives have been dramatically changed in very subtle ways that we don't even realize. This is all around us. It's a river of blood. Think about the larger Green Deal goals and objectives. Far, far, far beyond masks, workspace are being forced to be redesigned. New rules on labor density. New rules on labor manufacturing and office proximity. New rules on uniforms. New rules on hand washing stations. Sick pay, shift hours, time off. All business operations. Imagine this. And it's business operations. And people think of that and they think, oh, a job or a corporation over here or a business over there. It's not just that. It's literally everything in your life. Everything. And think of it on a national level. You cannot run. You cannot hide. And that there's been a fusion not only of the government, but of corporations. Specifically with big tech. Big tech, big banks, big media, big Hollywood, big, 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 big. And by the way, that happens. Mussolini found that to be an essential ingredient. In fact, maybe even the core side, because his core was a worship of a state, which is why the accusation doesn't stick to us. We don't find the definition and meaning for our lives in the state. But these people do. These people do. They are statist par excellence. And think of what happens to Main Street USA. Think of what happens to you. Think of how this will impact you. Think about who in Washington, D.C. then takes control of what types of business interests are allowed to operate. Who determines the winning and the losing? Think about how these federal COVID regulations can be used to put the multinational corporate world back, the globalists, on their former financial pathways, even without TPP and TTIP trade deals. Imagine that, by the way. It strips out our ability to even fight back. That's why look at how they have deprived us, and not always in ways that are taking from us, but us sometimes even just giving them up. Our privacy is long gone. Every time we sign, okay, I read the Google, I've read the YouTube terms and conditions. Oh, I've read Facebook terms and conditions, blah, 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 blah. It's a bunch of legal speak. Every single time we do that, that blame is on us. We can't sit there and say that we believe in self-government when we're just mindlessly clicking everything and then complaining because they're not allowing us to govern ourselves. Are we even deserving? We're slaves, by the way. We're slaves to our passions. We're slaves to these addictions. We're willing in our slavery. It's like, can you rape the willing? And they don't care about you. They don't care. But these are the stakes, guys. These are the stakes. And they're going to call you a conspiracy theorist. That's what we watched a video talking about. This is a great opportunity for a great reset. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. And you know what he did? He labeled the entire conversation a conspiracy theory. Despite the fact that he advocates for it. He was on a UN conference call in September. Trudeau said the coronavirus pandemic had provided opportunity for a reset, almost precisely mirroring the Great Reset rhetoric espoused by the World Economic Forum's Klaus Schwab and other world leaders. This is over at summit.news. You should be going over there, by the way. He's somebody who's been deplatformed left and right, man. You got to go over summit.news. Denying that the Great Reset is part of the grand plot, the Prime Minister claimed that the matter was merely disinformation. Quote, We're in a time of anxiety where people are looking for reasons for things that are happening to them. Yeah, we are, because crazy crap is happening and you guys are acting as if it's normal, and it's simply not. And one of the ways that you've made it so that we don't complain is to remind us repeatedly, over and over again, like Clockwork Orange, opening our eyes, making us see all the sights and all the symbols and saying, we're never going back to the old normal ever again. Say goodbye. Did you love that old world? Did you love it? It's gone. And you remind us about that. He said it's nice to be able to try to find someone to blame, something to point to, something to get mad at. Yeah, because you're pointing at phantoms, dude. You're pointing at phantoms and you're saying, go, look, the monster outside your house. It's going to get you at 10 o'clock. Be scared of the COVID. Be scared. Run away. Hide. Put your face behind a mask. Run into your house. Don't go to church. Don't be around friends. Because the monster's outside. And of course, New York Times are still claiming that the Great Reset is a conspiracy theory, even as world leaders openly announce it. And that is where we get, man. It's like the John, right here, former Secretary of State John Kerry attended a recent panel discussion at the World Economic Forum, during which he asserted that a Great Reset was urgently needed to stop the rise of populism. And by that, he means to stop the rise and the triumph of people like you and me. We need to make them very afraid, everybody. We need to make them very afraid. And we need to stand with President Trump. We need to realize what is on the line here. We need to realize what is on the line. So I want to read this before we go. It's the last thing. And I haven't read anything. I haven't read anything in a long time. I like sometimes to read poetry and things to you guys. But this is one of those things that I recently heard, and I wanted to use the video for it, but I was like, I think I'm going to be in trouble for that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to read it myself. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the main, then we're out of here, guys. We are out of here when that happens. Okay? Split screen, make sure. Okay. So, this is by Rudyard Kipling. It's called If. And I want you to think about it. And I'll help you enjoy this, by the way. I hope you enjoy this and you take these ideas throughout the day, and apply them in your life and say, man, how we're living through terrible times. We're living through really, really wicked crap right now. But we serve a King of Kings, right? We serve a Lord of Lords, and we, here on this show, are part of a wolf pack. We got each other's backs. And we're growing bigger every single day. It's amazing to see, actually. And it's all because of you. Maybe a little because of me. But you guys, you are the heart of the show, not me. Not me. I'm not inspired every day to wake up and do this because I like to talk in a corner of a room by myself. I don't like to do that. I mean, I do. I have fun. But it's because I know you guys are there. And I'm grateful. Like you, Katie Yee, in the comments. You say you're not scared. You say you don't wear a mask in Subway or church, and you live in New York City. We need more people like you standing up, fighting back, saying enough is enough, because we know their scheme, guys. This is all out in the open. We can see how it plays out. And they make it, it's a sickening thing. It's a demonic thing that we're dealing with. And we have to remain confident that we are on the right side of this. That no matter how much they say that we are bad, or that we're on the wrong side of history, or that our grandkids are going to hate us, we can always refer back to them and say, at least we're not killing our kids that will produce grandkids. At least we're raising our kids in such a way in hopes that when they begin to have children, that they won't abort them either. And not only that they won't abort them, but they won't contracept them out of existence either. As for them, they'll be like that cult that we saw earlier in the show from that documentary Transhood, made up of people who've lived their life, but at the end of the day, the only thing they have to show for it is a couple people that were successfully able to manipulate and indoctrinate their young little boys and young little girls into thinking that they weren't who God made them to be. That does not win, by the way. So if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build 'em up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. I would apply that, of course. I would apply that, of course, to men, to women, to people of faith and tradition, to patriots, one and all. And I really hope that you are inspired by those words. Go back and read it for yourself. Go back and read it for yourself and just think about it. And remember, of course, you can send information to us if you'd like us to read different stories, if you'd like us to cover different news angles. Funny, serious, emotional, doesn't matter. And make sure, again, tomorrow, you got to go to Paleocrat Diaries today. Don't you make sure to subscribe, okay? So, because I'm not going to be able to post it for about another hour. Make sure to subscribe, and that way you will not miss it when I send out the announcement pertaining to the video tomorrow night, okay? Because it's going to be a whole bunch of fun. You're not going to want to miss that. We will be eating some Thanksgiving dinner together. It'll be late in the evening. I think 9 o'clock would be better. I think 9 o'clock tomorrow night. It'll only go for an hour. We'll talk about funny stuff. We'll talk about food, everything else. A lot of stuff in the comments. It's going to be a blast. So, all right. All right, folks. It was an amazing time. Thank you, Kyle, by the way. Says he loved the poem. Said you loved the poem. Very, very, very grateful for that. Remember, go to paleocratdiaries.com. We're going to be posting a lot more. If you'd like to join us and post there, let us know. You can do that. You can do that by going to paleocratdiaries@gmail.com. Send us an email. And if you'd like to set up an interview, we're going to be starting those. We should be ready entirely by the beginning of next week. Reaching out to people, okay, right after Thanksgiving. We're on it, man. We are on it. Making sure we can have people on, talking about all sorts of amazing things. If you'd like for me to come and do speeches or other inquiries, you can either contact us at that email or go to the services section at paleocratdiaries.com. Make sure, subscribe, check out the videos over at Paleo Cheese Podcast, as well as Meaning of Catholic. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. And remember, as always, never give up. Keep on smiling. And memento mori. If I don't talk into microphones, I don't make that mad cash. Making all that money. Making that mad loot, right?
Mind control.
So we see the minority elite imposing their ideology on an unwilling and resentful populace. This causes a backlash. People get ticked off.
The left is working long and hard to make us feel as if we've done something wrong.
Worse yet, that we are the problem. Don't let people just rip on your heritage. Don't let people just rip on your traditions. Don't let people rip on your heroes. Stand up for what you believe, what made you who you are. So unless this disenfranchised majority begins standing up for what they believe in their heart of hearts to be true, I think we'd be left with nothing more than a dirge and maybe a funeral procession.